Yo, what's up, girls and boys? It's time to make some noise, cause I'm back and I'm on this track. Now let's talk about some plastic toys. You can bet I pose them all. Legends to Dragon Balls, Batman and Kaijus and Kamen Riders, I collect them all. Gotta make sure you're posing tight though. Make sure your lighting's right, yo. Keep it contained because you train for this your entire life, bro. So please don't adjust your TV. This is your host, Cheesy. Sit back and relax and learn this fact. Posing ain't easy.
Man, I used to play the trap spot, propped on the block like I was part of the backdrop. Now it's scale, props, effects, and backdrops. The right lighting, you never catch me biting. Say you make it look so real when you pose the figures fighting. I caught lightning, stuck it in the detour. Replicate epic scenes from the Creed War. Compose pieces with artists that span the globe. Fearsome foes, Spidey in the picture perfect pose. Insert the comic book cutout to shoot a show. Oh, you ain't know? Yo, everybody know me. I made nerds cool nerd like my man Zobi. Took the everyday display, gave it a spark. Welcome to articulated comic book art. Book art.
Yo, what's up, girls and boys? It's time to make some noise, cause I'm back and I'm on this track. Now let's talk about some plastic toys. You can bet I pose them all. Legends to Dragon Balls, Batman and Kaijus and Kamen Riders, I collect them all. Gotta make sure your posing's tight though. Make sure your lighting's right, yo. Keep it contained because you train for this your entire life, bro. So please don't adjust your TV. This is your host, Cheesy. Sit back and relax and learn this fact. Posing ain't easy.
Man, I used to play the trap spot, propped on the block like I was part of the backdrop. Now it's scale, props, effects, and backdrops. The right lighting, you never catch me biting. Say you make it look so real when you pose the figures fighting. I caught lightning, stuck it in the detour. Replicate epic scenes from the Creed War. Compose pieces with artists that span the globe. Fearsome foes, Spidey in the picture perfect pose. Insert the comic book cutout to shoot a show. Oh, you ain't know? Yo, everybody know me. I made nerds cool nerd like my man Zobi. Took the everyday display, gave it a spark. Welcome to articulated comic book art.
Yeah. Shutter. Yeah. Man, I got toys mint on card. Toys out of the box. Man, I got toys in my detour. Catch me at the toy shops. 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 Man, I got toys mint on card. Toys out of the box. Man, I got toys in my detour. Catch me at the toy shops. This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey, I'm fucking with them. Hype beasts, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it. Boog nice, my nigga. A.C.B.A been popping lately off top. My nigga, they cut out game be too amazing. MUs, my nigga, that's that shit that don't amaze me. This was for my niggas, that's really about they legends. Shouts out to Savage Poop, my niggas out in Texas. I don't fuck with no scalper, nigga, fuck what you selling. I'm all up in the toy aisle, I'm kicking kids, I'm reckless. My nigga Bill Maruby on that Google chat straight flexing. Look, I pop the package, I smell it. Pop the package, I smell it. Me and my nigga Tiny at the toy fair straight spending. They asked you for that Deadpool and he ain't asked no questions. We too fly, I know this. Let me give your ass a checklist. Got the Giant Man, got that Ares, that Cable bruh, it's nothing. I get the blue wire, silver Luke Cage, that Dragon Man, and I'm stunning. And this song for them fuck niggas that's hating on your collection. Yeah, they talking all that shit, but it's A.C.B.A, we reppin'. Man, I got toys mint on card, toys out of the box. Man, I got toys in my detox. Catch me at the toy shop. Catch me at the toy shops. 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 Man, I got toys mint on card, toys out of the box. Man, I got toys in my detox. Catch me at the toy shops. I'll take that. We're taking that right there.
Yo, what's up, girls and boys? It's time to make some noise. Cause I'm back and I'm on this track now. Let's talk about some plastic toys. You can bet I pose them all. Legends to Dragon Balls, Batman and Kaijus and Kamen Riders. I collect them all. Gotta make sure your posing's tight though. Make sure your lighting's right yo. Keep it contained because you train for this your entire life, bro. So please don't adjust your TV. This is your host, Monch Easy. Sit back and relax and learn this fact. Posing ain't easy.
Man, I used to play the trap spot, propped on the block like I was part of the backdrop. Now it's scale, props, effects, and backdrops. The right lighting, you never catch me biting. Say you make it look so real when you pose the figures fighting. I caught lightning, stuck it in the detour. Replicate epic scenes from the Kree War. Compose pieces with artists that span the globe. Fearsome foes, Spidey in the picture perfect pose. Insert the comic book cut out to shoot a show. Oh, you ain't know? Yo, everybody know me. I made nerds cool nerd like my man Zobi. Took the everyday display, gave it a spark. Welcome to articulated comic book art. Book art.
Yeah. Shutter. Yeah. Man, I got toys mint on card. Toys out of the box. Man, I got toys in my detox. Catch me at the toy shop. Catch me at the toy shops. 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 Man, I got toys mint on card. Toys out of the box. Man, I got toys in my detox. Catch me at the toy shops. This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey, I'm fucking with them. Hype beasts, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it. Boog nice, my nigga. A.C.B.A been popping lately off top. My nigga, they cut out game be too amazing. MUs, my nigga. That's that shit that don't amaze me. This was for my niggas. That's really about they legends. Shouts out to Savage Poop, my niggas out in Texas. I don't fuck with no scalper. Nigga, fuck what you selling. I'm all up in the toy aisle. I'm kicking kids, I'm reckless. My nigga Bill Maruby on that Google chat straight flex. Look, I pop the package, I smell it. Pop the package, I smell it. Me and my nigga Tiny at the toy fair straight spending. They asked you for that.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, let's go.
We are live, Boog. Oh, we are live. Yes, sir.
We're officially back at it.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. Love and tradition of the grand design. Some people say it's even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside this gentle world. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams. Real love bursting out of every scene.
The Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast is recorded in front of a live virtual audience and is funded in part by viewers like you. Thank you. Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Poncheesy. How you doing? Trying to join the room right now. Not really working. Don't know what's going on, but we'll figure it out. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the A.C.B.A podcast. Today's show, pretty exciting. We have nothing but illustrious guests. Big shout out to Toying Around, Kevin, the man, the myth. Borrowed some of his favorite slogans for today's show. Nothing but illustrious guests. We have the sculptor extraordinaire Paul Harding from HardingStudios joining us in just a moment, as well as Black Symbiote. And Rick is going through some sort of wind tunnel right now, and I can't see Boog. So we're off to a pretty great start.
Really? I'm in a room.
Oh, there you go. You sound good now. Oh, whoa, hey, oh, the whole squad's here. Fabio's in here too.
I'm nothing if not fashionably late.
Hey man, that's my role. Go find something else that can be yours. I'm the late one.
How's everybody's week been?
Oh man, it's been fantastic.
My goodness.
Oh, you know, just standing in solidarity with my fellow performers and workers of the A.C.B.A.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, Bug, I cannot hear you.
Yeah.
What about you, Rick?
Yeah, what's up with... Yeah, that was weird. Do we have to redo the intro?
No, we're good.
Hey, man,
I already did it.
Okay. Well, good stuff. Glad to be here.
We're living in a week where there's a Star Wars anime. I can't complain, brother.
I can't.
It's Fabio's wildest dream come true. It's here.
Yeah, Fabio's wildest dreams.
What are two, like, relatively okay tastes that taste just fine together?
Fabio, the cartoon master, the guy that can't live without cartoons.
#1 Star Wars and cartoons podcast. So
that's true.
Together.
The day this man voices a cartoon, he will never live it down on this fucking podcast.
I'll say something like, I don't like cartoons. I am cartoons. And then everyone can just shut up.
Whoa.
That's a real wrestling line. I am wrestling.
You're right.
I'm a good wrestler. I am wrestling.
But yeah, I mean, there's a whole strike impending in my industry, but hey, we're here. Happy to do it.
We're making it happen for sure.
How's your week?
My week has been pretty all right. Can't complain. Just busy as usual, you know.
I hear you're a little under the weather.
Oh yeah, like I have like a little cold going on. I don't know. I'm at the very end of it, so I'm feeling okay, but at the same time, my nose is like on fire right now. It sucks.
Were people at your work like touching you with an exosuit, or what was going on?
No, absolutely not. I basically just work by myself.
That's
Nobody messes with me all day. It's pretty great.
That's my request.
That's incredible.
Let me go ahead and leave and come back. Maybe it's something on my end real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't know. We can't. I mean, he can't even hear him in Discord, so this is weird.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh yes,
there he is.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, everything's good now.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I wasn't sure whether or not when you first came in we were even live or not. Honestly,
we're live, baby.
All right,
we're doing it live. You already know.
All right.
That's why we need those extra 5 minutes in the pre-show. But you know, just for this week, we got a guest, so we wanted to go ahead and
absolutely. So
bring up the timetable a little bit.
Yeah, without further ado, let's. How about we say we bring him in? What do you think?
I'm down. I mean, unless there's any other order of business to get into first.
No, I mean, basically, we'll just skip right over to community, talk to HardingStudios just a little bit. Of course, fresh off the heels of that Doctor Strange reveal, we decided to, reach out. Big shout out to David Walton, actually made first contact, reached out and invited him onto the show. We thought it'd be super cool.
for
Yep.
check.
So just a little backstory, real quick, though. If you were not online this past week, I was able to actually reveal an upcoming Walmart exclusive Doctor Strange figure. I was in contact with Hasbro and with the PR team for maybe like a month before. So they had very specific instructions on how they wanted things to go, and I had to shoot the review and send it in for review from them just to make sure everything was up to par and that Marvel and Hasbro didn't have any issues with what I did. And first one take Boog, everything was good, and so yeah, I was able to reveal an upcoming brand new classic Doctor Strange figure. And like P said, Walton doing what he does, reached out to Paul, who actually sculpted the neutral head sculpt and the meditating head sculpt here for Doctor Strange. Been working in the industry for quite some time. We thought it would be cool. We thought it would be a treat for you guys to, get an industry insider on the show. And so, with no further ado, we have Harding Studios on the show this evening. Paul, how you doing?
Hey guys, good. How are you?
Excellent.
Hey man, good to have you.
Nice to be here.
No doubt. So, I'm getting a little feedback. I'm not sure if that's me or
Might be you. I don't hear anything.
all right.
Yeah, I muted my mic.
Okay.
How am I doing?
You sound
All right.
Yeah, you sound
incredible,
great.
Paul.
You sound good.
But yeah, I was just saying that you sculpted these two heads on this Doctor Strange. So give us the background on that, and maybe the background on yourself as well.
Well, yeah. Before you even actually get into to the some of the sculpting stuff, I actually just want to go back and get some background on you and just give us some insight into your childhood. where things started. Tell us where you from.
Yeah.
Just give us a little rundown.
Well, I'm from upstate New York. That's where I live now. But I grew up loving action figures, and as soon as I could, in the really early 80s, as soon as I could start making money at like age 5, I was saving up and going out and buying action figures. So there's been a lifelong love of it. Fast forward, I went to Syracuse University for illustration, and at that time there
Go
wasn't.
orange.
Yeah, exactly.
One of my best friends graduated from there. Actually, I got to visit one time on the campus.
Oh, nice. Hopefully in the summertime.
Nah, it was actually in the dead of winter. It was terrible.
Sorry. So at that time, nobody was thinking about going into making action figures because it wasn't a possibility. Nobody was doing it. It was very exclusive, and I had no idea even how to get into it. So I was going to go into illustration and become some sort of artist. And I got hired by a company right out of school. I moved straight to Manhattan and I started a design job. And then a couple years later, the .com bubble burst, and I was on my own. And that was right around 9/11. And I had to figure out what to do. So at that time, all the toy companies were in New York City. I was there, and I hustled.
Okay. Sorry about that. We was having a little feedback. I'm not sure if that was P's mic or.
Yeah, we're fixing some behind the scenes, but yeah, that's so
Okay.
You're right. I mean, all the toy companies are in New York. So what was you say you're hustling? Does that just mean a lot of independent work on the side to really get attention from these companies? Kind of have your resume out there, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, at that time they were mostly all in New York City. Now they're all in Burbank and the left coast. But yeah, well, when I say hustling, I mean meeting people who were in the toy business and then just hitting them with my portfolio. So about like 17, 18 years ago, wait, no, maybe more than that. Anyways, I met the owner of Mezco,
Whoa.
and I started. Really, had no idea how to sculpt at that time, but he gave me a sculpting job, which was crazy because he saw, he saw the potential. But mostly what I was doing at that time was I was designing almost all their vinyl stuff.
Oh.
So I was just a character designer, and then through Mezco, I met Dave Cortez, who was the renowned, Marvel Legends sculptor who started, at Wave 1 or something like that. And
Yeah, actually, like I want to say maybe like 6 or 7 years ago now, me and Chartemis actually got to tour Dave Cortez's studio.
Yep.
That was amazing. Yeah, Dave is a real cool guy. Go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
No, great dude. And basically, I would go to his studio every single morning, and I would help him out with stuff, and then I would just basically cut my teeth on working for, whoever I was working for. And it was a lot of Mezco stuff at that time, cartoony stuff. So I was involved with Dave on Marvel Legends pretty early on, just helping him out. And then
anything notable from the from those old Toy Biz days that you really liked that you worked on that kind of stands out now?
I think the first things when I went out on my own was maybe a year or two after that, and I was working on the Face Off wave, kind of, later.
Very interesting.
So I did the Iron Man stuff, and you guys have video? No, I'm not on video.
No, yeah. If you want to put your video on, please do.
You can turn your camera on. Yeah.
How do I do that?
At
It
the
should be
bottom
right next
left.
to the microphone button that you use to mute. There's a little turn on and off camera, and then if you want to watch the screen share as well, we're on your Instagram. If there's anything you want to direct us to look at.
All right. I'm
You're
on
gonna
my
do a double click there. You click click your camera on, and then you can click on the screen to enlarge the screen that we're viewing on the show right now, and then you'll be on the right with us.
Yeah, I don't see the camera button.
No worries, we got you just fine over audio. But if there is anything that you want to look at that's on your Instagram, just let us know.
Yeah, maybe Paul, maybe you might want to. I don't want to lose you, but maybe if you exit out and come right back in, it might pop up for you.
I'm in.
Oh,
Beautiful.
there he is.
We
All right,
got you.
there we go.
Incredible.
Turning it horizontal like a professional. I love it.
Sorry about that, guys.
Excellent.
Totally fine. Yes.
So yeah, man. Interesting. I don't want to jump the gun here. Go ahead, Pete. Say what you was gonna say.
I was just gonna move on to the real meat and potatoes. We talked about
No
the
doubt.
past. Let's talk about the future, man. So
No
like
doubt.
like Boog said earlier, you did an amazing job with that Doctor Strange, and undoubtedly that comes from your Marvel in the '70s series as well, which I'm sure everybody is a fan of. Marvel in the '70s. You're welcome. Marvel in the '70s is absolute tour de force of talent, no question about it. And no doubt that Doctor Strange translated perfectly onto Marvel Legends. Did you have to start from scratch and resculpt it for like the Legends scale? Can you take us through that process or anything like that?
I can't remember exactly what the nuance of it, but there was a pretty big difference in going from the Marvel in the '70s stuff to the action figure.
Mhm.
And I wasn't at the time. I was like, "Oh, I can just reuse it," but it doesn't work that way. And thankfully, I've been in toys for a long time, so I could make that transition. But it's close. And then I just started seeing a lot of things that, my Marvel in the '70s stuff. They have. I try to get them to have certain different kind of characteristics and character that don't necessarily translate to action figures very well. So I had to put some more action figure, superhero stuff in the face.
Okay, interesting. Now, is that just basically just due to the aesthetic you're going for specifically with Marvel in the 70s translating over to figures, or is it like you won't be able to get a certain level of detail in on the 6-inch scale or something like that?
There's definitely that you have to add more detail in, but even like down to like the nose shape. I liked how the nose was interesting on my Doctor Strange in the 70s, but I wanted to make it had to fit into Marvel Legends a little bit better,
Mhm.
while still respecting the material that it came from, and it was my material, so I wanted it to look pretty similar.
So, in terms of working with Hasbro now, how does something like that work really? Like, do they say, all right, we have X amount of projects for you to work on through this quarter or through this time? Or are they just like sporadically contacting you when they have something specific that they want you to do? Or is it some like set timeline for, I guess, the contract for Marvel Legends right now for this new era of things that you're doing with Hasbro? If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I mean, I worked for Toy Biz doing Legends a number of years ago, and then I made the transition to Hasbro, and I was working on all those first waves at Hasbro, and then I took a number of years off. Like I came back in 2016, did some stuff, but I wasn't really pushing for it because I was doing a lot of DC action figures at the time,
Mhm.
and then I took maybe 4 years off again, and now I'm back. So for about the past year or so, it's just been a constant stream, and almost 100% new head sculpts for existing bodies,
Oh, cool.
and loads of partial stuff. But really, what you've seen is a drop in the bucket. I think they've shown maybe 4 or 5 of the figures that I've done from the recent work.
Okay, and those were, aside from Doctor Strange, what else can you say that we've seen, or can you talk about?
Well, going backwards, it would have been Frankie Ray and Silver Surfer for the HasLab Galactus,
Okay.
and
Oh yes, I did see that.
I think and Hammerhead, and then before that, I think it was Binary.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nice. Okay.
Hmm.
Then there was the Logan, in that 5-pack.
Ah, okay. The
With
one
two,
that's not like officially out yet, but yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
right, and then finally, I think Quasar.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think you had something else that you wanted to
Yeah.
ask.
You mentioned the Silver Surfer, and on your Instagram, you said that you actually sculpted a Silver Surfer about 15 years ago as well. Um, like what do you bring to the table when like you revisit these sculpts that you've done in the past? Like, do you try and do something else that you didn't have a chance to do before, or do you like what's your process there?
Well, when I'm redoing a character, I always want to do something different.
Nice.
Always. But even when I'm doing a character that I've never done before, I always want to like approach it differently and say, "Hey, let's make these facial features unique." I mean, we've seen so many toys, we've bought so many toys, I've sculpted so many, It's like you just I want to try to force some uniqueness into it. But from the Silver Surfer point of view, that was the Icons line, the 12-inch line,
Mm-hmm.
that when Hasbro really first got the Legends, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
Go ahead.
I wanted Silver Surfer to look alien as I could make him, while still being true to the character.
Mm-hmm.
With the larger eyes, strange nose, and things like that. So when it came back to doing this new one, I was just working with the team, and we wanted them to have a classic look, and still modern and unique.
It must be pretty interesting to go in and trying to top your own work, trying to top your yourself.
Well, it's not hard when there's 15 years in between.
Right.
Yeah. And as far as that time difference, how is it different working from Hasbro back then versus today? Is the team just like a more well-oiled machine? Like things just move a lot more,
Well, Dwight is still here.
Take that information how you
never mind
will, I
about the
guess.
well-oiled part.
So some of that hasn't changed, but honestly, between me and Dwight, I think actually Jan Lagori, who is he's a sculpting manager there. He was there early on too, but maybe 13 years ago. But
how often are you guys actually like getting together, like physically getting together, especially with the whole, with the past 2 years with the pandemic and COVID and what have you? How often are you guys actually together in a room and kind of like think tanking together and going through stuff, or is it just a lot of Zoom stuff these days?
there's really no need for them to communicate with me on anything except through an email to start the project, and I send a couple emails back. It's low pressure. It's not a lot of work for them. I try to make their jobs really easy. So we and honestly, I'm not involved in any of their design process or concepting at all. Aside from the 70s stuff that I hope there will be more of.
That was actually going to be my next question. Was whether it was, are you going to be able to do more of your work from Marvel in the 70s and translate that over into Marvel Legends? Are we going to see more of those character designs, maybe?
I sure hope so.
Very, very, very good. Very good media trained answer.
There's definitely been a shift towards more designer-driven sort of stuff. When they were doing their 80th anniversary line, they were doing the Alex Ross stuff with the Iron Man and then the Thor. So I'd like to see more of that moving forward with other artists as well. So
absolutely. I could see Paul working on that upcoming Captain America that we're probably going to get for the 20th anniversary of Marvel Legends.
That's true.
Especially considering that you said that you were working on the face-off cap. That would be fitting for them to give you that project, huh?
Well, I didn't do the face-off cap. I did the Iron Man and something else.
Okay, during the face-off time. Got you. Okay.
Punisher face-off, and that was I'm such a huge Punisher fan. That was fun for me, and then I got to do Punishers in the the early Hasbro days with the camo on his face.
I would like to see
Is that a thing? 20th anniversary stuff? Have they announced?
There's been some teasers.
Really. Yeah, there's been some teasers. I feel like the teasers have been sufficient enough for most of us tinfoil hat wearers to figure it out. It looks like they're going to be doing some type of anniversary thing for the first wave of Marvel.
Right. Right. They showed the logo, right?
Yeah, They had that logo base and it had like a slot in it for like a backing, and then they showed a separate piece of art that looked like the base that came with that original Captain America, just in an art form, presumably to slot in there.
Yeah, they're giving us the crumbs to follow.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that, so it's been pretty easy to put together. Not the most.
There's no one that follows the crumbs as much as Fabian.
Basically,
I've followed it right into a witch's oven.
Basically. How often are you like just picking up a pen and just drawing right now? Is that something that you just do during your free time? I always wonder that about like people that sculpt and like just artists in general, how often they're just kind of just drawing. Is that something that you do at all?
It's like recently over the past few years, I haven't had a lot of time aside from professional stuff, but the past half a year or so, I've been drawing a lot more because I'm designing and sculpting Diamond, Select, and Gentle Giant statues now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So that scratches the itch for me. I don't want to say I'm a control freak, but I really like taking something from start to finish and just having it be all me, or doing heads. Like if I'm gonna do part of a figure, it's gonna be the head.
Very true.
Nice.
So would you say that you have a little bit more fun doing, but just statues from start to finish than doing like an articulated figure or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, articulation comes with a lot of headaches, and but I would feel bad. I would feel a little bit lost if I wasn't able to make toys,
True.
But
Mhm.
over the past 10, 20 years, it's been like a lot of toys, back to statues, a lot of toys, but now it's a really nice balance. I get to kind of do what I want. I'm designing Star Wars stuff, designing a lot of Marvel stuff, and just finally being able to put my spin on it,
Mhm.
Yeah,
But yeah,
earlier,
toys. I'm a
earlier,
toy guy.
earlier you said that they don't really that they give you a lot of freedom as far as going back and forth with the Hasbro team. Question I had was how much of your design do they have input on as far as like articulation goes? Like is your design like have to have a lot of articulation in mind? Do you just do the model and they cut it themselves, or how does that process work for you?
Well, it's been a few years since I've actually done an articulated figure for Hasbro, because they only do special figures now. That
Yeah.
full figures are most of that is for movie action figures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Fabio had the Usagi on the screen too, so I was like, oh, I wonder how much back and forth there was with NECA as far as like their articulation and your design was going as well.
Yeah, and that does
Yeah.
kind of touch on something I wanted to ask too, is does that amount of articulation, if you are left to decide where the cuts are, does that vary per company, per license?
Definitely, NECA has their way of doing things. Hasbro definitely has their way of doing things, and it's a money game. The more you change, when you change articulation, add articulation, you're spending money. You're creating new molds at the factory. So,
Absolutely.
none of these companies want any sort of, unknowns happening. So everything is figured out like that for the most part, especially for Hasbro. That's all figured out in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
For NECA, we do some tweaking with the articulation concepts here and there, because it really has to capture the character, and it's not just a male muscle body. With NECA stuff,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of different things going on.
For
So
sure.
with Usagi, there's a lot of hidden articulation in there, and you're going to be really surprised and happy with that figure. And I've done, boy, they what have they shown? They've shown these figures like is like Dirtbag and Ground Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
Those are just first shots I'm looking over. And then they teased a couple more, and then they showed Usagi. But it's been a year. I've been constantly doing Turtles figures for NECA too.
What's some of your favorite things to work on, or what were you like really into as a kid? Were you always like a Marvel guy or a DC guy, or were you into Turtles and stuff? What's like your favorite stuff to work on?
I mean, I love Star Wars stuff, but I don't do Star Wars action figures. And I love Marvel, but as a kid, I had Secret Wars. I don't know how old you guys are, but you know, Secret Wars were my thing, and DC superpowers were my thing. So to be able to work on Batman stuff and characters that were in superpowers
Mm-hmm.
was cool, and I got to do an entire statue line for Tweeterhead based on the superpowers stuff. So
Nice.
that was a lot of fun.
I
And
saw.
then GI Joe. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's fine.
Yeah, I was just gonna keep going. Like GI Joe was huge for me, and now I collect the classified stuff just as a fan. I collect Black Series because I waited like decades for 6-inch Star Wars and
Right.
GI Joe stuff to come out.
Yeah, I think we probably about the same age, Paul. I'm 40.
Right
So,
on, right on.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, 45 over here.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, all right. That makes a lot of sense. All right.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, 5 years was a big difference in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And even, even when I was, I don't know how old I was. I would have been like 13, maybe 14. And that's when Turtles action figures came out, and I bought that whole first wave, and then I kind of lost interest because I got into baseball cards,
Mm.
and comics, like
Yep.
comics hard around the late 80s, early 90s,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm still into comics.
You're still actively reading a lot of Marvel and DC stuff?
No, not actively reading stuff. I hunt. I buy a lot of
old stuff.
A lot of old stuff. A lot of key first appearances.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I just,
What are your other main lines you collect? You said Black Series and GI Joe Classified, but anything else that you collect?
Yep.
He's asking you about Mezco.
Right.
I didn't want to be leading.
No, I definitely don't collect Mezco.
That's the sound of a heart breaking in Southern California.
That was just another earthquake.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I would rather have 4 or 5 nicely priced action figures than one premium action figure, or like 10 Hasbro figures than one Hot Toys. I like Hot Toys. I love that stuff as much as the next guy, but I'm a collector.
Right. I'm with you. Excellent.
Speaking of that, earlier you said like you had a childhood passion of collecting Kenner, stuff like that, and that's well displayed in your show Future Cyborg that you did 2 seasons of, correct?
Thank you, dude.
I had to mention that because when I stumbled upon that, I saw just how much fun you and everybody else had fun making that thing. Like just the whole aesthetic and like the premise of it. Like take it away. Explain to everybody else what the premise of it is, what it was like filming that, all that stuff.
Dude, thank you for bringing that up. Like I wanted to talk about it, but I was waiting,
Oh, beautiful.
That was a labor of love, and that was, I wrote every episode.
Oh, no way.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm the dude on the left.
Yeah.
And one of my but yeah, it's on YouTube and it's called Future Cyborg, and it's an unboxing show that's set in the 1980s, and we open up mint 80s stuff.
You really open them too. Like it's not carefully or anything. You rip these joints open and everything.
Some of them hurt, like in my heart, and some of them came from my personal collection, but it was totally worth it. We caught it on camera, and I got to inject a lot of my twisted humor into it, which was really important, and I can't say that I'm honestly a big fan of unboxing videos, because people just like nitpick, and they, people, they nitpick my work, they nitpick everyone else's work. So, it's a little bit of a cheap shot at unboxing videos.
Oh,
and,
yeah, definitely.
I
love how you and your friend just play the straight man role so well, but there's so much like layered in humor just in your performance and like, the script and everything. It's hilarious. Like I was like doing research on like, your whole portfolio this week. And then like, I basically just killed a whole afternoon just watching that stuff.
Did you make the rounds after the Doctor Strange reveal and like just kind of like comment watch and like try to see what people were saying and what, or you're not really trying to go down that path?
I don't go on boards. I'll kind of rely on a couple friends to come and tell me, if it's positive, and I don't want to hear it if it's negative necessarily. but there's enough people that come on like Instagram and Twitter and Facebook that I'll get a sense of, I don't know. I honestly don't know. At this point, I know if I did good or mediocre work or not, and it's like you just hope it's not bad, and sometimes it's hard to tell.
Nah,
If
I
I'm
think
trying to do different stuff every time. So
no doubt. No, but I think the overall reception for Doctor Strange was like 98% positive, man. I think a lot of people really liked how the head sculpt came out. So I know people are
thank
definitely
you.
looking forward to that. But yeah, I kind of took us off. P, I know you wanted to talk about talk about the show a little bit more. I took us off.
Speaking of like different, you try and do something different every time you get into it. Like you've sculpted so many different styles over the years, like hyperrealism to like caricature work, cartoons, everything in between. What would you say your favorite style is to sculpt, and what would you say is your favorite style to like illustrate?
I think it's hard to explain what my favorite style to sculpt is, but I would have to say my style, which I can't really explain what that is, but I feel like I have a certain sense of like toy licenses and characters that are involved in all of these, and I just to be able to do it my way and yet still have some reverence for the characters and all the other artists that have drawn these characters before, like to do stuff like that, and it like a few years ago I got to do a Joker statue that was just all my own, like the way I wanted to do it, and that felt really good.
Nice. You mentioned on your Instagram that you did an Accursed Samurai in 2020 also. Was that all you as well? You mentioned that was like some of the most fun you've had sculpting all like in a while.
Right. Yeah, that was a kind of a quick one, and I wanted it to go further, but yeah, I love that really like detailed kind of gory evil stuff. And I don't get a chance to do it outside of, my what I have time for myself to do. That stuff was fun. And then I think right after I did that Cursed Samurai was when I had the Marvel in the 70s idea, and I was like, I'm just gonna run with this, because when the pandemic started, I thought this industry was finished. Honestly, I had like 2 months where business was dead.
Yeah.
And then, in the early summer of, what was it, 2020, then business picked up, and I've never been this busy in my entire career.
Yeah. It seems like those 2 months was a lot of people trying to figure it out,
Yeah.
I see we've seen a pattern just with everything across the toy industry of just seeing a 2-month gap between just everything.
Yeah,
and
it's
then,
true.
And then we saw people still come out in the middle of the whole pandemic and spend a shit ton of money still, even. So it kind of showed the resilience of toy collectors in this community, and how people will just they'll spend on what makes them happy.
Yeah. People started pre-ordering a whole lot more stuff, and I think that was a major surprise to the companies and the factories. So everybody got behind on work.
I think when this thing hit, everybody thought like you did, like we're all screwed. Nobody gives a damn about buying a toy right now. People just want to stay alive. And little did they know, people want anything to escape and to feel, and to make them feel even for a moment better about what's going on around them. And it's just like collectively everybody from every hobby, not just this toy collecting stuff, but like even the other things that I do, like clothing and shoes, like it all like tenfold like just exploded with people with interest and with pre-orders and purchases. It was pretty wild.
Straight up, completely.
16shooter actually has a question for you. He's asking, do you have any input on the paint apps and stuff, and how often do they deter from your original sculpt?
Paint apps are not something I've been involved with in years.
Okay.
It's just not. It's just not possible for for me to to be able to spend the time on that. But also, most of that is an afterthought. After the design and sculpting is done, then there's a lot of work that goes into painting and figuring stuff out, how it looks on a 3D sculpt.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even bother, and most of the I don't even want to know. And most of the time when stuff comes back from the factory, it's like I've
That's
washed
it.
my hands.
Right. You've done your job already at that point. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
you.
it's like sometimes it looks good.
Yeah, I can
Mhm.
imagine like you knowing like what you had sculpted, and then you see it on the shelves, and you go, no, I mean, I had a different idea, but all right, okay, it's out here, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, 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 definitely. I mean, they're trying. They're
Sure.
trying.
Mhm.
But it's hard, it's we're not talking about like Hasbro's digital paint face application. People are still like basically painting these things by hand, in a lot of especially the statues. So you just gotta take the punches.
Yeah.
Do you
Take the good with the bad. Roll with it. Yeah.
one question I had for you, because it was funny. I had an interaction. There's a famous artist named Stanley Lau, known as Art Germ, online. And one time I was with him at Comic-Con. He's a friend of mine, and we were sitting there. I'm like, "Oh man, I love this statue you just did." He's like, "Oh yeah, I hate it. They made her look way too old." And
Right.
I was just wondering, do you ever have moments like that where you gave them the concept design, and they sculpted it, and you're just like, man, what did they do? Because he was being really vocal about, like, I don't know why Sideshow does this. They make all my girls look old, and he was really pissed.
Well, I haven't had so many, instances where I'll design something and then hand it off to another sculptor, except mostly in the early days when I had the good fortune of, Dave Cortez sculpting my designs, so that, I never worried about that. But look, from I can't speak for the painters, but as a sculptor who is an artist himself, not just a tool in a toolbox, to have to deal with the designers and the artists. And I'm certainly not pointing fingers, because anyone who has ever had to design a statue or an action figure, they need to understand things happen. I mean, from Art Germ's perspective, I get it. I totally get it. He has there's so much beauty in all of his designs.
Oh
As
yeah,
soon
without a
as
doubt.
his women, if he sees that they start to look older or more mature, it's not his vision anymore.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, man, I've been dealing with comic book artists forever. And most of them are nice.
So we don't want to keep you for too long tonight. I did have one question.
I got time.
Okay, cool. We can pick your brain for a little bit more. So I noticed on your Instagram you did the sculpt work for DC Bombshells, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I really loved that project, man. Some of my most favorite action figures.
Incredible.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it was just that first wave. I think someone else picked up the second wave. But yeah.
Were you at Comic-Con that year when they were showing that stuff off?
I'm sure I was.
Did you do like a live sculpting thing on stage?
Yeah, it was a Batman thing.
Yeah, I have footage of that, actually. I have B-roll of that.
Oh, right on, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, what a cool little coincidence.
Oh, neat.
So you mentioned that, back in the day you did a lot of articulation work and stuff when you did sculpting. Did you do the articulation for the Bombshells line too? Did you have any say in that, or was it already pre-baked in there?
Oh no, almost everything I've ever sculpted is articulated by me and cut up.
Beautiful.
you know.
That
Yeah,
segues
yeah.
perfectly into my question. How does it feel being a real hero and giving us double jointed elbows on a female buck in that line?
Well, you know, it's not easy to make them look good. You know,
True.
it's hard to hide articulation on female bodies, but yeah, you know, I just hope, you know, you don't want them to come out looking too skinny or too thick, but I hope they looked all right.
You
know?
realize that you doing that, you indirectly like
You
probably
shifted the industry,
pushed
man.
Hasbro, you know,
You got the
into-
ball rolling for sure.
Yeah, you definitely did.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we
I
got.
don't- honestly, I don't
I'm sure
even
you
know.
know. I'm sure you know Shartimus, but I'm pretty sure it was your Harley that he took to like interview with Dwight and said, "Hey, look, they've got double jointed elbows on the DC figures over here. Why are you guys not doing this?"
And the look
Well,
on Dwight's face of absolute disdain. It was
It's
just
like,
like,
why did you bring that?
I
He
think
wanted
he
to
literally
kill
looked
him.
at the camera and said, "Why are you showing me this?"
Yeah, yeah. I believe it. Yeah. That was a party foul for sure.
Oh, well put.
Um,
So one question I had for you, is going back to, you know, how resilient the industry's been despite all this, is like, even before, you know, the pandemic and everything, but especially now, have you seen how much like the third party, you know, head sculpt market and bodies, like blank bodies and clothing and all that stuff has exploded in the last few years? How does an artist like you, who, again, like you were saying, specializes in the head sculpts, do you look at something like that and see some opportunity as well?
No, I don't. You know that I've been asked so many times to do stuff like that over the years, and it's just I just kind of want to work on licensed stuff. You know, I feel more comfortable doing it. You know, I don't ruffle any feathers that way. There's people are doing a lot of beautiful stuff, and I take inspiration from it. You know, more power to them. That's that's what people want, and I think you know for the most part, you know, companies like Mezco and Hasbro or see that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, you basically just told us indirectly, like I don't need the money. I'm good.
Well, you know, outside of licensed stuff too, if you have, you know, an original character design or something that you wanted to get out there, you know, I think it would be cool to know that there's a people who would be in the market for stuff like that, as far as a head that is from nothing necessarily that they can put on a body.
True. And I guess when you put it that way, I'm just not into the custom game. I've never been into it. You know, for one reason or another, let them do their thing. I'll do my thing.
No doubt.
But
No
but
doubt.
the idea of my own characters and doing stuff like that is, yeah, for sure. I would love to do that.
As far as like, I mean, because you know you mentioned how you had wrote some of the bits and everything for the show. Would you be interested in doing something from the very early stages of making your own completely new, like, you know, property and writing up a story for it and doing a line or something like that? Would that be something that would be of interest to you?
Yeah, and I had, you know, things kind of move slowly, and the past 2 years have been really slow for stuff like that. But yeah, for future Cyborg specifically, I have a series of figures in my head, and I sculpted the first one, and I know it's on Instagram somewhere. His name is Mutilax.
Yeah, that was part of your Indiegogo thing as well, correct?
That what was sort of. I don't think it was directly a part of Indiegogo.
Okay.
But maybe I debuted it when at the end of the second season or something like that. But yeah, that's all sculpted, and it's, you know, I don't know how to describe it, but it's it's absurd, and it's kind of, you know, it's kind of like a He-Man figure, but way crazier.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I mean, I would piggyback off Fabio and say if there's ever been a time where people are hungry for like just truly like rad original ideas, it's now, man.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll always
Yep.
fly the flag for stuff like that. And what you were saying earlier also touches on something I like about licensed stuff. Is I do like when there is this sort of designer quality to it, just the way that comic book artists put their spin on these characters that existed long before they got their hands on them. You as an artist that's a designer can put your own touches, and people who know about something can be like, oh, this is a Paul Harding design, and you can tell because such and such.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something great that brings, you know, if we're seeing these characters over and over again, it's great to get a fresh spin on them every time.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I'd love to put my spin on a whole lot of characters, but I did like, you know, 60 or 70 of them for Marvel, and we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, you know, one thing I wanted to bring up is that previously you worked a lot on DC Direct stuff. Honestly, probably some of the best interpretations ever in like 6-inch action figure form for DC characters. And recently we saw that they said DC Direct was making a return. Are you excited for that to come back? I mean, some of the stuff that was being done out of DC Direct was just incredible, and most of it was your work. The Essentials line and the Icons line were both
right. Those were my babies. Yeah. I started both of those lines and did almost all of the figures in those. But you know, the return of DC Direct is going to be through McFarlane Toys, and you know, good for them.
You did a really good job.
I don't think it's so much of a return as they're just kind of taking the ball across the finish line. Like they're really just putting out the last bit of that was meant to come out before the operations shut down. So as far as
a lot of fans are still thirsty for a great long running DC 6-inch kind of scale line, and we just keep like missing that in some way, some form or fashion, man. A lot of people were really excited about that, the Essentials and the Direct stuff, you know, a bit ago. So I don't know that McFarlane's gonna do it.
Never getting that Demon Etrigan figure. I don't know if you worked on that one. Is
right.
One of the biggest heartbreaks I've ever faced.
Yeah.
And Icons, even though, you know, a lot of people had their issues with it, I still maintain is the best 6-inch DC line that there's ever been. And it's a shame that a few of those later figures and the accessory packs never came out, because, man, that was great stuff.
Yeah, I know. They were a little bit small, right? And they, you know, they had 1 or 2 issues.
They worked great in my imports. So I'm fine.
Yeah, right, exactly. They're Japanese. Come on. You know?
Very true.
I think I did like 30 of those, or no, maybe 30 of those came out. I know I did at least 30 Essentials though. So I can't, you know, like the whole scale argument and who gets which scale license is just, you know, I have my issues with it too as a collector, but I'm just so exhausted about, you know, hearing about it. You know, I feel bad for the collectors that want a certain scale, everything in a certain scale, but I just can't do anything about it. I just got to make toys, you know. And yeah, a proper DC line to go with Marvel Legends is what people were clamoring for. But DC Collectibles couldn't do that because that was Mattel's territory.
Yeah, and they flopped the bag so terribly with what they were doing. They were stuck 10 years in the past.
How do you feel about the current climate in terms of like all of these toy photographers and stuff out here? Like, you know, 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't as prevalent as it is right now. There wasn't a lot of that stuff going on, but as it stands right now, there's so much like free promotion for all of the companies and stuff like that with all of these people that are actually like, you know, playing with their toys. And like, how do you feel about that whole like that whole scene?
They do really nice work, but I only like the ones that tag me.
That's it. Get ready to be for your DMs to be flooded, my friend. Everybody's about to start tagging down.
Hey man, I always say, like, if you take a nice photograph of figures that I do, I will share it. You know, if you don't, like, if you try to tag me like inside the picture where nobody can see my name, like, I don't care what it looks like, man. Just being realistic.
That's
I'm
true.
being realistic. I don't want to like, you're taking a photograph of something that I had a big part in making.
Mhm.
So how hard is it to tag people, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I feel like a lot of the more conscious photographers and stuff out there do really take the time to highlight each company or person that played some type of role in their shots. They'll say the dioramas made by such and such, the figures are made by so and so,
Mm-hmm.
lighting is
Mm-hmm.
so I do feel like
Mm-hmm.
some of the more I guess professional dudes out there
Right.
do
Right.
that, you know?
Keep
And I
tagging
love
FedEx for doing the delivery, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, right.
right. Well,
Tagging
see
everything.
now,
I fucking tagged
there's
Target a few times for poster
that's a
paper.
troll. That's a troll argument right there. No, I love the behind the scenes stuff too.
Mm.
How they do the fire and smoke effects. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I was looking at the Luke Cage and the Iron Fist, and man, I would love to see some new Marvel Legends figures, a classic Luke Cage and
Yeah.
Iron Fist. I know a lot of people have been clamoring for that.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. I mean, there's only so much space for that classic stuff that,
Mhm.
especially those crazy costumes,
Right,
Luke Cage
right.
and Iron Fist. There's other characters that can fit into modern lines that are still classic,
Mhm.
I would love to see that crazy stuff again.
Oh yeah. Something Rick and I appreciated was all your Invader Zim sculpt work. Is that a project that
Hell
that you
yeah.
had a lot of passion for, or was that just something that was thrust upon you?
It is completely thrust upon me. To be
Whoa,
honest,
interesting.
to be honest, I
Invader Zim was thrust
barely-
upon an entire generation.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I was in my 20s when that came out, and I was, if I was watching anything at that time, I was watching SpongeBob.
Man, those early seasons of SpongeBob are top tier.
Yeah, they are for sure, And I don't remember what else I was watching back then, but yeah,
Interesting.
I didn't know. I never watched an episode of Invader Zim.
That's wild. You did such a great job of just capturing. Just
Well, there's a lot of research.
Yeah.
And
Oh man, there was a lot of love in that figure line, and it's crazy that it wasn't like some huge like an important show in your life, because it really it felt like
yeah,
whoever was working on it really loved the show, because there was so much detail to it, and such great accessories. It was great.
Mhm.
yeah, loads of Easter eggs, and and I even did a statue.
Yeah.
The toys aren't out.
Oh
Are
yeah,
the
that
toys
statue
out?
is awesome.
No, I see your statue on your Instagram, and we've talked about the toys on the show before as well.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah,
There's a
sure.
lot of work for those toys.
Yeah, they put a lot of
An
stuff into it. We couldn't believe it.
An insane amount of work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that art style is I was gonna ask, that art style is very they have very thin joints and stuff. Where do you land in terms of bulking some parts up for a figure, kind of going off model a little bit? What's your process on that? Your thought process on changing up the model a little bit?
Well, you don't want to piss off the collectors and the fans, but with something like that, they're so skinny in parts that we started with factory ball joints that were 4mm, 5mm, 6mm, and we used those where we could. When you start getting under 4mm on a ball joint, they just don't work as well. So we did the best we could. So that was the starting point. Was the little ball joint, and then everything came together around that.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, sculpting everything out and then finding out that you have to do it all over again because you didn't account for the 4mm ball joints would be a nightmare.
Right. So you just want to get that straight to begin with for something like that. So when I say all the time, every project is different, and honestly, it is. It really is.
Very true. Yeah. You've been sculpting and doing articulation for so long. Do you have
That's crispy.
like a favorite like advance and articulation like kind of technology like over the years? Like, is there something that you were like excited about when like a figure debuted, or even something that you may have sculpted yourself?
Mhm.
Well, I mean, when I first started, I was sculpting everything in this stuff called Castelline, and
Yes.
it's really soft, well, relatively soft clay that you had to harden by putting it in the freezer,
Mm.
and you take it out of the freezer to do the really tight stuff. But even still, your hand is warming it up as you go, and I had to add joints that were custom machined by me. So
Okay.
I'm like cutting discs out of styrene, and in those days I could just use like a plastic ball as a joint, and then the factory would add the disc into it.
Mm.
That was the early days. And then when I started working for Hasbro early on, like in 2004, or I don't know what it was, then they gave me like bags and bags of joints of all sizes, ball joints with discs that fit in of all sizes, and
Oh
then
wow.
you could add them into your wax sculptures. So it was like those days you just wanted to pull your hair out. It took so long to make
Mm.
to make one figure.
I can imagine.
Um,
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
really, really time consuming. So you know, the digital advancements in sculpting, sculpting in ZBrush
Yeah.
was big, and
Hmm.
and that maybe 11 years ago was when I switched over,
Yeah.
because I was done.
I was gonna ask, like, you cut your teeth on like tangible like sculpting and stuff, and then now I noticed
Right.
that you showed a photo of your like work area. You do like digital sculpting, of course. Would you say that like would you say it's important for people to learn the methods of tangible sculpting before like do you find those skills are important, especially in like the digital age now of like ZBrush and all those other programs?
Uh, I think it's so important, to be able to find your way around a form.
Hmm.
If we're talking about 3D, if we're talking about traditional 3D sculpting, and I would say most artists who draw two-dimensionally can they do have that potential ability to transition to sculpture.
Hmm.
Um, but you can kind of tell people who have only sculpted digitally, you know.
Okay.
Uh, I think, but that being said, I'm proud of my time, the first sort of half of my career as a traditional sculptor. We're proud of that, us who have made the transition from it and who spent our time doing that. But back in the day, that is right when I started was when 3D sculpting was just coming in, and we were super anti
I can
digital,
imagine. Yeah.
like big time. Like me and Dave Cortez, we would get 3D scans from Toy Biz for like the Lord of the Rings line, or all type of celebrity scans from Gentle Giant and stuff like that. And the
Mhm.
scans were just like, they were not high resolution back then, and we just had to like we had to deal with that stuff. You know.
It sounds very similar to a lot of us in the toy photography community, as far as doing a lot of stuff tangibly early on, and with the advancements in camera technology
Hmm.
and also digital stuff. A lot of people doing a lot of post edits and stuff like that, and some of us older guys kind of turning our nose up to some of that stuff as
Hmm.
well. But also moving forward and trying to learn and trying to just become a better all around artist.
Yeah,
Hmm.
using
It
new
sounds
tools,
very
new
Yeah,
technology.
the idea, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
you're in a perfect position because you did make that transition, how to
Mhm.
translate, and every industry goes through a period like that where 20 years ago movies, or 30 years ago I guess now, movies were made almost entirely on film, and it wasn't until
Hmm.
about 10 20 years ago now that stuff really started becoming digital and went almost too far that direction. Now the stuff that I've worked on in the past like year, 2 years, it's like the perfect mix of both things. And you can tell the people working on it are very excited to have that and to like see everything move forward. And it sounds like you are too, honestly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to embrace it,
Mhm.
especially if you want to succeed, but also to enjoy, all the advancements that come with it and the shortcuts that can make your life as an artist easier.
Very
Right.
true.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, so Paul, thank you, man. Thank you for hanging out with us. If you actually want to hang out with us throughout the rest of the show while we go through topics and stuff like that, you definitely could.
Thank you guys so much.
You guys have any final questions? We would love to get you back on when inevitably some of your some of your scopes come out and we get to see more work. So we definitely like to touch base with you again in the very near future, man.
Absolutely. There's going to be a constant flow of stuff for the next 2 years. So
Excellent.
And everybody watching here can follow Paul on Instagram. He is at HardingStudios on Instagram. Is there anything else that you want to plug where people can find you? Stuff to stay tuned for?
Yep, on Twitter, Harding Art on Twitter. And just stay tuned for a lot of Marvel, Star Wars, Ninja Turtle stuff, and some other random things.
Excellent, man. All right, man. We definitely want to, like I said, we definitely want to get you back on the show as these things start to trickle out. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, and man, we really do appreciate it. P, you want to say anything else?
That's it. Yeah, just to piggyback off Boog, I thought this was so great to get some insight into not only the industry, but like, just pick the brain of such a talented, illustrator and sculptor. So again, thank you so much for being on and answering our weird little questions.
Hey, save your questions for that you come up with for next time, and we'll do this again. I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you so much, Paul. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.
Peace, Paul.
All right, peace.
Oh no. Okay, cool.
That was Paul Harding. Man, what a nice guy. Very, very open and chatting about everything.
So hard not to ask him a million fucking questions.
Yeah.
A man that's been involved in such incredible lines. Like I was just going through the Instagram earlier today, and I was like, oh my god, this guy was working. Like I'm sure Boog will remember when they were gonna do the army builder wave where they had like the figures. Like he worked. Like I was about to ask him. I was like, man, let me not do that shit. Let me not fanboy on this man.
I wanted to ask about Popeye too. The Popeye line he's doing for Boss Fight. I mean, everything. It's crazy.
There's like an endless amount of things we could have asked.
You know what's wild too is that a lot of this shit seems to be coming full circle for him right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of shit that he worked on early on, it seems like he's about to get the opportunity to work on some of that stuff again right now. Like you mentioned the army builder stuff. He did the head sculpts for the Shield agents that are coming out right now.
Yeah, it really is coming full circle for him.
You know what I'm saying? So he worked on got to work with Marvel Legends around the days of the face-off time, like he said. Like I'm almost certain that we're gonna see a Captain America and a Bucky head sculpt from Paul in this 20-year anniversary of Marvel Legends at some point. Obviously, he can't just like let the cat out of the bag or whatever, but and then he worked on the Surfer. He got to work on the Surfer for the HasLab Galactus project. And that's just the Marvel shit we talking about. But he's got his
and I mean that's not even mentioning that's not even mentioning what we said earlier, that he's responsible without a doubt for the best action figures in somewhat 6-inch scale of DC we've ever gotten, and it's not even close. And
he was DC Icons, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was really hard not to ask a million Static Shock questions. Was there another design? Like I really had to hold. I kept muting myself. Like, don't be interjecting. Don't be.
Was it your idea to take out the coat? Awesome.
Did you do this?
I just wanted to give an opportunity to throw more shade at DC.
Hey, Paul, I have a question for you. Did you do this? It was so hard not to ask him a million questions. Just such incredible work that he's done.
Yeah, you could do an entire hour on each individual thing he's done. I mean, Marvel in the 70s alone is one of the most like crazy art things I've ever seen. It's up there with Alex Ross Marvels for me, for sure.
Yeah, if we don't get that Ghost Rider in a figure form, I don't think that I'll have lived a fulfilled life.
I really like that freaking. I really like that Misty Knight. Like she looks almost real.
Oh yeah,
I know,
I mean,
right?
that Luke Cage and Iron Fist, I thought they were real for a second.
Damn,
I was like, okay, why does Fabio have I was like, why does Fabio have cosplayers up here? And then I was like,
Fucking-
it's like, look at
Yeah.
your fucking their design.
Spider-Man is
Yeah, but-
crazy.
Yeah, that Spider-Man is jacked.
he did a couple of them, but yeah, Spider-Man is nuts.
Hell yeah.
Man.
And then these Batman design, like these DC designs, are crazy too. You know, I love all this. Some real Justice Society thing going here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is fantastic stuff. There's Misty.
Yeah,
Yeah, she 100% looks real. And
Very
I feel like this is even the type of thing. And his Hulk, by the way, that's the face-off Hulk right there for sure.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But this is the type of thing where you get that comic book to almost live action translation, and it like kind of works.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, again, please follow Harding Studios on Instagram. And once again, Paul sculpted the Doctor Strange head. He said that we're going to see a steady stream of things from that he's worked on throughout the next couple years. So he's busy, he's working, he's getting to the bag, man.
Yeah.
So
If you get a chance, thumb through his Instagram, and you'll be shocked how much of his work you have in your collection right now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was following Marty. There we go.
Yeah, not just that, but like the things that you're like, what the fuck? He worked on this like 20 years ago. Like Jesus Christ. Like when I saw that Hand Ninja, like he has a picture of the prototype of that Hand Ninja that never released from Toy Biz. Jesus Christ.
That was the other thing that you just reminded me about, Rick, which I totally forgot to ask about, was the Giganto during that time when he was sculpting the
yeah, man.
when we were maybe gonna get army builders. Yeah, he sculpted that what could have been a Giganto figure. So
yeah, it was
again,
the Fantastic Four TV show wave.
right,
It never got to
exactly.
happen.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about that so bad. One of my questions I think I put was like, what hasn't released that you would have wanted to release? Something along those lines. And
I could
like,
definitely
man,
see
I was
Legends.
really gonna lean on that.
A Giganto.
Can we get this head sculpt for Marvel Legends? Come on.
Hell yeah.
For the love of God.
Tony Stark
He's a
looking-
cool exec with a heart of gold. Come on.
looking real tipsy right there.
Really good. the
But yeah,
bubbles
man,
and everything.
I think we did have some actual topics to get to.
We
right?
do. One last thing about Paul. Please watch his YouTube channel, Future Cyborg. Again, like I can't say it enough, man. That show is so funny. Like it's like he said it himself. It's literally he's just playing. Him and his friend are playing characters, just being the first toy reviewers in the '80s, and just playing it like every single like almost awkward 80s type of like media you see like floating around the internet. Him and his friend are both playing the straight man. They have like really funny like humor around it. It's like really great dry humor, and like the visual gags are so funny, and like there's an overarching storyline as well. It's incredible. I linked it in the chat. I'll link it again as well. Please check this out, because I thought it was just gonna be like, I could tell like he was super like into it, right? I could tell that he was like very proud of it. But to see his like face light up when I mentioned it was like super sick.
Yeah,
like,
dude, he loved that. That was awesome.
I could tell that like he had like a really great time working on this. So please check it out. And give him some love for that for sure.
Yeah, I actually didn't know about it until I think in our chat you like asked a question about it, and I was reading through it and I was like, what the fuck is Poncho talking about? Then I looked it up for a second and I was like, oh shit, I gotta watch this later.
It's incredible. Yeah, so we do have we do have real topics today. Not much. It was a pretty slow news week. We're gonna be talking a little bit of Hasbro, Mezco, MAFEX, and then maybe some miscellaneous. I think MAFEX had like the biggest news this week.
Yeah, and then like the only miscellaneous thing I could think of is Revel Tech. I can't think of anything else.
There's also some Super 7 and McFarlane quick hits.
Oh
Alright,
my
cool.
god.
And then also our next guest we're going to bring on in just a moment will be Black Symbiote, Diego, brother, creator of The Grind. Hell yeah, an A.C.B.A artist extraordinaire. So we'll do another quick interview with him, and then he'll probably stick around for most of the show too. So it'll be super.
Yeah, I thought he was just chilling.
Hell yeah. But yeah, before we go ahead and do that, let me read off some super chats real quick. Tim Smith hit us at the top of the show. Said love, peace, and chicken grease. No reruns this time. I'm doing it live, baby. Let's go. Oh shit! I hit the wrong.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
John Papa Sergio said, "What's up, y'all? It's the guy that hates everything. What's up, John?"
Oh man, the guy that hates everything. What's up?
There he is.
Praise White
He had-
Jesus.
He had some very candid words about what if this week.
I actually didn't even see this week's episode yet.
Same here. I didn't see it yet either.
Oh my god!
Oh, I saw it twice. It was great.
I got spoiled.
Not on purpose.
The end got spoiled for me. And I was
Oh
like,
yeah, that image,
or like
that image
the
is
resolution of
everywhere
the
right
story.
Praise White Jesus once again. Shout out to one of the greatest usernames I've ever seen. It is for $9.99. The perfect price for the WWE Network. He said I looked real quick at Boog and thought Hulkamania was running wild in A.C.B.A. Also, Hasbro's grimy as fuck for throwing Catalina Vasquez under the bus. I'm over here furious that my Sentinels ain't moved yet. Incredible. Every time the show starts.
Oh my god, yeah, her name on the label, right? It says it's shipped from Catalina, whatever. Oh, she's gonna get a lot of smoke.
Every time the show starts, big shout out to E. He kicks off the chat with a hashtag, "Where's my Sentinel?" Incredible.
Man, that's a hashtag that I'm wondering about myself. Where's my
grassroots
Sentinel?
movement?
Who hasn't gotten it? Boog, you haven't gotten it, and Rick, you haven't gotten it, right?
No sir.
What? Come on, you guys are flagging. I'm over here with a 2K plus photo on Instagram with it already.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Subtle flex. Subtle flex.
Bob
Yeah,
Joint.
I'm sitting at 2K right now.
No, well, I mean, I really should just thank everybody for it because that is just an obscene amount. So I appreciate the response on that photo. It was just a bit of fun. You know?
Hell yeah.
I wish I hardly have a like actual photo area like big enough for 6-inch figures.
Mhm.
I mean, there's absolutely no way I could like take a fully, enclosed photo, fully contained of this Sentinel.
The modesty of this man is bursting through the screen.
It's massive.
Absolutely massive.
There's nothing
When you
better
guys
than a
get it, I'm
British
very
man
excited
saying
for you.
massive.
I can't wait to see everybody, put it in a baby crib or use it to get in the carpool lane, whatever.
It's a double-edged sword, man. Like I want it in, and then I'm like, you know what, man? Like, where is it gonna go? Where is this damn thing gonna go?
Bob Joint hit us with 5. Thank you so much, man. And then David Walton hit us with 10. Hell yeah, brother.
D-Walt.
And
Hell
then
yeah,
Jamichael hit
that
us
was a
with 5
D-Walt.
as well. What's up, A.C.B.A. crew? What's up, Jamichael?
Michael, what up? What up? What up?
What's up? Yo, I remember whenever we used to do
JFK.
call-ins, which hopefully we can bring back one day. I loved it when people would go, hey guys, what's up? What are you up to? Just chilling on this podcast, dog. You already know it.
Live. That's what we're supposed to be asking you, bud.
Love it.
Hey guys, first time caller, long time
Yeah.
listener.
First time, long time over here.
First time, long time.
All right, cool. So I guess without further ado, let's bring in Diego, brother. Let's talk to Black Symbiote. Fabio, you want to pull up
In some
Dan's
circles known as Big Daddy D.
Illustrious Instagram? Diego, how's it going, man?
Hey, how you doing?
What up?
Fantastic.
There he is.
What's up? What are you up to?
Nothing. Was just actually listening to the podcast and then turned it off to be able to get on.
Incredible.
Oh,
You didn't miss much.
Thank you for doing that. There's nothing worse than when we bring somebody on and they got the podcast on in the background and they're like, "There's an echo."
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
it's like
of
I'm
course
still
there
Who's
is.
this guy they brought
echo
on? He
is not
sounds just like me and he's not saying anything.
So yeah, Diego, man. Most people know you from your illustrious Instagram. A lot of people may also know you as the creator of The Grind. Take us inside the mind of Black Symbiote. Where'd you grow up? Like, what got you into toys? Like, what got you into this art form? Tell us a little bit about yourself, bro.
So I've always loved action figures, man. Ever since I was a kid, mom would buy me. So my mom and my grandma bought me a lot of toys, and I just, it wasn't just the video. I like video games, but I really did dig plastic tangible art, and I've always loved that. And one day I used to buy stuff on eBay, like expensive, and didn't know where to buy it. Didn't had no idea about Facebook groups around 2014, 2015, and I met Greg Chikowski.
Hell yeah!
No,
Shout out to Greg.
more known, everybody knows G, Big G.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I just walked into his the action figure realm, and once I walked in there, I was just like, in awe. And then it was real simple. He put me onto A.C.B.A, and I don't know. I've always had like a thing with photography. I always liked photography, but I never knew that I could actually, I guess the OCD. I'm very OCD, so it's like when you're OCD, you kind of have a good um, frame of reference in terms of like framing and composition and what looks good, patterns, groups of 5 instead of 4. I don't know, like stuff like that. And once he showed me what A.C.B.A was, I was just stunned that all of this was like physically present, that it was all a tangible thing, and that we had this big community of guys that, would give feedback to people who don't know what they're doing. And once I was in the group, I was just like blown away in every way possible, and just got really into it. And yeah, it became kind of an obsession a little bit. Like it's just it's my thing. Love it.
That's great, and I can relate to that a lot for sure. It's very similar to mine. In fact, I feel like a lot of A.C.B.A artists like origin story is like every origin Marvel movie. Like it's about the same beat, about the same formula. We all kind of end up in the same place by the end of it.
Right. No,
Yeah,
it was
just how Instagram blew up was really how I found it too, because I was already kind of transitioning off of Facebook, and then it was really A.C.B.A that like brought me back because I had to be in the group.
Right. Yeah, I definitely got onto it in the group first, and I didn't even do the Instagram thing really. Like I had I'm a barber, so I had like a hair page to promote stuff a little bit, but that was about it. And then then I got into this art form and created this Instagram, and just became just really talk to people worldwide. That was another big thing with this that I thought was so impressive was, you got people all over the world doing this as well. It's like you meet friends in the Philippines and in Japan and the UK and all over the place. This is it's crazy, man. It's like you coming together, like it's real crazy. It's a dope thing to be a part of.
Hell yeah.
And as far as the grind, give us the rundown on how that all started, and where people can find it and what it is exactly.
Well, the grind, the group has gotten so big, and I felt like a lot of people, especially beginners, really didn't get the recognition, or not even recognition, just like the push that they needed. A lot of people would just ignore a lot of these photos, and because of the algorithms that Facebook keeps throwing at us, man, I mean, it's new algorithms after new algorithms, and it's like, a lot of people are having trouble being seen. And I felt like this community has given me so much. Why not extend my arm out and try to help people, guide them into the ways of A.C.B.A the way I was guided. And I was lucky to have the admin team that I have even now, who, I couldn't do none of that stuff without. I mean, it's a lot of work to constantly give people advice and to get the gears going the way that I've gotten to a point where I don't have to sit there and give everybody, because you create an atmosphere where everybody's giving everybody advice, and you encourage other people to give other people advice. That way it's not the same 6 admins giving people advice, making people feel like, well, who are these guys? Like, no, it's everybody. Everybody gives everybody feedback. And that was always the intention. In the beginning, it was a little difficult to get that going because people are shy. There's a lot of people that'll just they're beginners, but they do have insight. They do have things that they could potentially offer up to a person who might have missed that, or like a veteran or whatever you want to call it. And I always felt like in the bigger group, a lot of people tend to be more shy, and this group kind of not only trains you in the art form of A.C.B.A, but also to how to give people feedback, how to be a better A.C.B.A artist, which is an artist that not only does what we do, which is phenomenal, but also we give people feedback and we help people. That's one of the dopest things about A.C.B.A is that we give that open, honest feedback.
No doubt. We talk about that a lot in private, I guess, but in public too on the show, just as far as like people not for you talked about it from the aspect of being able to give critique and give advice and stuff like that. But a lot of people don't even know how to receive advice or critique. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are so used to um, only hearing the good things or only getting praise or whatever the case may be. And that's why we always try to like direct people to away from like places like Instagram, even though obviously we have a big presence on Instagram, but like to be able to just talk openly and freely and really explore the limits of or not even the limits, like, realize that there are no limits to your potential and to how great you could be as an artist if you are able to just take advice. Basically, if you're able to just like see things from a different perspective and learn about anatomy and learn about different things, just little things that could be thrown off your picture and just making it better. And we've seen a lot of artists benefit from that system and go on to do bigger and better things on their own and on their own platform and monetize it as well. So yeah, man, that's something very
good
special.
to see. Like it's even good to see some of the bigger names. Like even recently, Figure Mania show, Harold Ruiz, he posted something with one of his plexiglasses still showing, and he posted it, everything. He got good praise for it, but then he went back and fixed it and came out with such a better picture. And it's it doesn't matter who you are, man. That insight could really make your picture go to that next level. It's always good to listen and keep your eyes open, or better yet, your mind open to whatever another artist might be able to give you.
No doubt, no doubt. So I guess you're gonna hang out with us and do what we do as far as looking at stuff and talking about it and discussing the intricacies of certain things. But are we gonna?
As we talk about stuff, just feel free to jump in, give your thoughts on whatever we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah. Tonight you were part of the show, so you just hanging out with us.
Looking forward to it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, everyone definitely go follow Diego at @black_symbiote Instagram. One of the A.C.B.A admins extraordinaire, and just a great photographer all around. A lot of great content. I'm so bad. There was for the longest time I had 420 follows. Like I was following 420 people, and I like decided to keep it there for the longest time.
Yeah.
Same brother.
I gotta follow a bunch more people until I get to
I was like that too. I was on 300 for a long time, and I was like, I'm not following more than 300 people. Fuck this.
Right.
My feed is clogged.
Exactly, dude.
I'm following like fucking 1,000 people.
That's pretty funny.
See, all right, good stuff. So let's get into some of this Hasbro stuff, right? That's what's first.
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, it was
what are those Hassel brothers up to, I wonder.
So obviously we talked about the Doctor Strange reveal. A lot of people were asking me about whether or not how this was going to be released, if people were going to only be able to get it in store at Walmart, or if you'd be able to order online. And honestly, I don't have that information. I have the blurb that they gave me, and I stuck to the script as far as that's concerned. As far as I know, Walmart Collecticon is a 2-day event on the 7th and the 8th of October, I believe. Just thinking about it in terms of how they could maximize on people purchasing the product, I would assume that you'll be able to purchase it online as well as in the store at some point. It only makes sense. That's not what they told me. Don't quote me on that shit, but that's just makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the Walmart Collector Con, they've done, all kinds
They've
of stuff
done
in
it
the past.
before.
Usually,
Yeah.
they did like Transformers exclusives. I think last time it was a little underwhelming before, but I think that was maybe the first time they were doing it. Now that a lot of these
I was just about to,
distributors are moving to the online con model, you know, Target has their thing going on too. It's
I was just
just
about to say I've been one of those people that wakes up early and goes to the Walmart and thinks like, hey, it's Collector Con day. They're gonna be here. Don't waste your time. And from experience, they're not there. They don't know when they're gonna be there. They don't know if they're ever gonna get them. And yeah, it's an absolute waste of time. I think last year or the year before, it was last year. It was last year. I was on the phone with Emia, and he was at his Walmart, and I was at my own Walmart, and we're both like, "Oh man, it's open. Let's go!" And we both run in, and there was absolutely nothing there, and the employees all told us to fuck off. And yeah, it was a great day. Yeah.
Collector Con, sir. This is a Walmart.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about, sir? I asked this, like, there's this Mexican lady that works the toy section who's like really nice to me, and I was like in Spanish, I was like, "Yo, man, you know what Collector Con?" And she's like, "What? No," and she never looked at me the same again.
I was gonna say, oh yeah, just real quick in terms of some stuff I forgot to touch on. Actually, I don't know if that came out this past week or not, but there were some rumors that are circulating. I guess Marvelous News put them out first as far as stuff that we may see next year from Marvel Legends. But the rumor mill right now is that they do have plans on doing a Blue Marvel figure, and he's supposed to be part of some Avengers wave next year. A lot of people were thinking that I was going to get to reveal a Blue Marvel, even though it wasn't that, it was Doctor Strange. But I'm definitely excited to hear more about that, to see what will happen. Also, on the rumor thing, they say that
Yeah, I'm looking for that message you sent. That somebody.
I found it actually.
Okay, go for it.
So Doctor Strange wave in January is rumored. A Sleepwalker, Spire. I'm not sure about that. Spare. Who's that? I don't know who that is.
I know how to say the name.
Oh, you did it.
What does that mean?
Oh, yo, we got Diego with the Sentinel right there. How you liking it, dude?
Diego's looking at an upside down kid in play right now.
Dude, is that young Al Figures?
Every time I see you, your beard is like fucking 3 inches longer. Like,
grows more powerful the more souls it consumes.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with
when he's slurping up the souls that get caught in his mustache. Yeah, he's got to deal with it.
I'm not too familiar with this character, but I guess he's some type of demon. So maybe a Doctor Strange villain of some sort. I don't know who he's.
I was just going to say that sounds like a very Doctor Strange villain name.
I don't know who he's really connected.
Apostrophe spare.
Yeah. Incredible.
Also, they're saying a Thor wave in April. Supposed to be a Gore the God Butcher as part of that wave. Maybe he'll be the Builder figure. Maybe he'll be another regular figure in the wave. But we do know that Gore is supposed to be a part of this upcoming Thor movie, the next Thor movie. So it will make
sense. Baby.
A comic-based version. And then other Hasbro stuff that's Star Wars related. We're supposed to be getting Ahsoka Tano, the Rosario Dawson version in January. Supposed to be getting the Client from The Mandalorian, and Omega and Echo from the Bad Batch. Unconfirmed.
That's a good two.
Omega.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's funny. That's how like they say her
also
name.
The Death Watch
with that like thick accent. Omega. Omega, don't go in there.
Omega. Yeah.
Omega.
It also said here the Death Watch Mandos confirmed. So
whoa, they're Death watching.
Yeah, shout out to my man Ruck. I don't know if I should say that, but
hey, shout out to my man that leaked all of this. Here's his address and phone number.
Just dox your source, dude. Come on.
His 9 to 5 place of business is
These are the times he spends out of the house.
But
forget his
yeah, the
mother's maiden
other I guess the other Marvel Legends news was the you had it up, Fabio. The pre-order for Falcon and Loki went up this week as well. Neither one of these I really care about like that, but I mean, I guess I'd pick up Loki just for the additional head sculpt for the kind
Yo,
of
they're so slick for that, man. They're so slick because that's the reason why I want to get it now.
Yeah,
that head
pretty
sculpt,
much.
that even looks
Now-
like the dude from the show. You know the
Yeah,
Illustrious
the older
dude, I
dude.
forget his name now.
Yeah.
That looks a little bit like him. So
Yeah, I'm in the same boat because I've been waiting for these daggers to come out again. Boom, there's my chance.
Yeah,
guy.
Fabio's been aching for Drax's daggers in some way.
Yeah.
Man, it's been a few years, so it's about time.
You got your they soft goods daggers, man.
I was
They're
gonna say
gonna
this
go-
Loki needs a cape, so it could be like the onslaught, the Build-A-Figure wave from Toy Biz.
Yeah.
What was it called?
They're gonna go-
Blackheart.
They're gonna go in some.
No, it
Mezco
wasn't.
department.
Well, Black
No,
Heart
you're right. It was Onslaught. It was Onslaught.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that would be nice. Even just a plastic cape would have been nice to like complete the look and make it a little more different. But either way, yeah, most
don't
people
even-
just want it for the
I don't
old
even
Loki
like
head.
I don't like this buck for Loki, man. It's just too buff, man. I want him to be
Yeah,
a little more
Yeah,
slender, you know.
He needs to be like spindly.
Yeah,
You know?
mhm,
Kind
you know?
of, yeah. This is
Yeah.
a bit
Skinny
cheap.
I mean, would you
Yeah,
put
exactly.
him on the Mr. Fantastic buck then? Because what's the next buck left after like below?
I
that's
don't
not
know.
bad.
Yeah,
I don't
Mr.
know.
Fantastic would be
Yeah.
good.
That's not bad actually. Yeah.
I guess yeah. He was never really that buff.
No, and that has like kind of the fabric texture built into it too, whereas
Right,
this is
right.
basically like a
That's true.
nude body, you know.
Mhm.
Right.
All right, so
Yeah.
these are up for pre-order now on pretty much all of your favorite places. So pick which one you like, and then get into some Star Wars stuff.
Just real quick, one last thing before we move into Star Wars stuff. I do believe that we will hear something else from Hasbro very shortly, because Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con is right around the corner. So
Next
I do
week.
yeah, we'll get some updates, some new reveals, some more insight onto, I guess, Walmart Collecticon and what's supposed to happen with that. So yeah, don't fret, my friends. You guys will hear something else soon. But yeah, what else from Hasbro?
Got a little Star Wars action, some stuff inspired by the Droids television series, and that includes a 6-inch Bob Fett.
Let's talk about this.
Jesus Christ.
This Boba Fett caused a lot of controversy.
Uh-oh.
Did it?
Tell us about it.
This is on an older buck that's
Yeah.
not as good as the newer one.
Yeah, why
And
would
everybody's
you do
just pissed. Like, why would you? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I agree. Like, it makes absolutely no sense.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
better Boba Fett buck? Don't use it.
The newer one that they had just put out went back in stock on BBTS actually too. I don't know if it's still in stock.
No, yeah, I'd seen a lot of like, I'm sure we all know those sellers that like inexplicably they seem like they have their own stream of product, and like I'd seen a lot of those guys come out like, hey, I got 30 of these Boba Fetts. Who wants one?
You know what? I
Retail.
think I might actually order this right now before it's too late.
So this is basically part of their 50th anniversary Lucasfilm program. So this is going to be in kind of like that book style packaging, like they did for some of the like the rabbit
Maul.
character that they did a little bit ago, and the
new
dude
Darth
from
Maul.
yeah. So that's for 6-inch, but then for vintage collection, 3 3/4 inch, they're also doing R2. Comes with coins.
We all know
Cool.
how much
Okay,
Fabio
way
loves
too many
coins.
pictures for R2. We know what he looks like. You get a coin for the same Boba Fett, but now in vintage collection.
Now is this old?
And
Yes or no?
on I don't know, for vintage collection. And then you get this one is, I guess pretty different, is the, animated style C3PO.
There he is.
Actually
Alright.
spelled phonetically on the package. Whoa.
So is
Star Wars
R2D2. Did
podcast.
you see that?
Yeah.
R2D2 is like insane, like so oddly spelled.
R2D2. Do you remember what he's called in Spanish?
Oh, what?
No.
Arturito.
Arturito.
Literally, little Arthur.
Arthur.
Little Arturo.
Arturito.
All right, so that's it for a little bit of, Star Wars and Hasbro. What else we got?
Real quick, Crunchy Cheetos asks us, when are you gonna make the opening songs available on iTunes or some other download? They get me hyped for posing. Aren't your song and Cheddar's song is on iTunes, right, Boog? Yes or no?
No, not on iTunes. It was on TuneCore for a bit. Once I actually put out my new intro, I think I'm gonna make that available and then make the other songs available again. So soon.
Yeah, when's the Boog Nice LP? Need an A and a B side at least.
February 3rd.
February 3rd. You can find Posing Ain't Easy on SoundCloud. I'm officially a SoundCloud rapper, so I can't wait to get tattoos and dreads. It'll be fucking sick. But yeah, you can go to my SoundCloud, Poncheezy, and then you'll find it.
The first Poncho gossip story on the Shade Room is going to be incredible.
All right, good stuff. I also saw there was no super chat, but it's worth mentioning. Sonic Rockman X. When are we showing our shirts?
Let's go.
Now that Diego's on here, maybe he wants to show off his shirt.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Hold on.
Write a passage.
Get up, man. You got pants on?
Yeah, I got pants on.
Hey, all right. Make sure, because I have been fooled before.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I
got
got
Dire Structure shirt.
Dire Structure, that's right. This is a shirt from The Cursed Dead, which is Adam Van Wickler, and this is a sculpt from Phil Ramirez, also previously of Marvel Legends Toy Biz fame, and it's a new line that they got coming out. So I got this shirt at
I'm not gonna lie.
2019.
The entire time I was looking at Fabio's shirt, I was like, dude, is that a Street Human shirt? Like the top half of it, I was like, what the fuck? Why is he in a shirt? Like, Russell lives right here.
So this is literally a photo of Phil Ramirez as 3D sculpt for one of the head sculpts.
Right.
Oh, man.
So yeah, really good. Can't wait for that line to come out. They got soft goods.
So they got you wearing the merch already, man.
I'm wearing the soft goods, baby.
Bug, is Hulkamania running wild through you? What's going on? Just a regular red polo?
Yeah, that's it.
Dude, A.C.B.A polos would be fire though. A little embroidered right above right here,
I saw one of your comments that said I look like the Black Super Mario. Fuck you.
I know, right? You look nothing like Chris Pratt.
Exactly. Yo.
Although if you're casting Charlie Day as Luigi,
I'm kind of on board.
At this point, we need the sequel. Okay, I'm casting it now. Danny DeVito and Glenn Howerton as Wario and Waluigi.
Absolutely. Last but not least is my shirt, Grandpa Gohan and Goku shirt. I got this at like either a con or like T Fury or whatever. I don't even know.
What I'm talking about, man.
This was like
shout out to 2010 T Fury.
Yeah, one of the best to do it.
And Rick, you're not wearing a shirt at all, right?
No, I'm. Let me tell you something.
No, it's on a hanger behind him.
Completely birthday suited right now.
The last thing from Hasbro is they showed off the Ninjetti Pink Ranger. It is in fact Kimberly.
Oh, right.
Okay. Wait, you're telling me the last one they didn't do was Kimberly?
Well, we thought that we had hopes and prayers that they might include a cat head because the actress changed in between mid-season. And well, I mean, the character changed, not just the actress, like the character changed.
Right.
But we were kind of hoping that we would get a cat head with this. Don't put it past Hasbro. They'll probably find some other way to re-release this stupid line again. And they'll include a cat head.
Can we get a translucent, sparkly version of this?
Oh my god. They're about to hit us with soft goods, baby.
No, hold up. Did you see the Tommy head on the White Ranger?
Yeah, the Tommy head on the White Ranger looks like he's about to throw up, dude.
Bro, that looks nothing like Jason David Frank. That was more
One
like
of those,
Rocky.
he's one of those kids
Ranger.
party performers that decided to drink before the gig.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my god, I regret this.
What do they have going on here with the torso articulation? Is it that like whole like diaphragm thing
I hope
hidden
so.
behind the sash there or the
I would
belt or whatever?
imagine. I mean, it'd be
Yeah, I
stupid for
think
them
this
not to
part
do
right
that.
here is like a soft rubber piece, and then the
Mhm.
articulation is underneath right here.
Like Kang. I'm
Yeah.
envisioning like how the Kang articulation is, you know?
Yeah.
Something like that, but I think this is an overlay.
I feel
And
like
then the
it's like a
articulation is actually
shield,
like
like how the
underneath.
shields are. Like that jacket is kind of like how they have that extra shield, and then
Mhm.
underneath you'll have the regular like Power Ranger body.
Mm.
I forget, Tim, I forget who it was. Somebody on PMP saying that they're going to buy a bunch of the Black Ranger in this suit and just,
Army build 'em.
just paint it all black, baby. Army build, black suit of ninjas. Boom,
What
boom,
you gonna do
boom.
with that big
Not a
symbol
bad
in the
move.
middle?
Yeah, you could army build this White Ranger and have a real problematic display too, if you really want to.
Oh my god.
How dare you?
Sorry.
That'd be awesome. Having them all
It's
get
better than the
murdered.
AI, right?
Yeah.
all you need is a Dave Chappelle figure to go with it. And you're set.
Oh my god.
Clayton Bixby.
Hey, Bixby.
I can't believe Clayton Bixby was the white Ninjetti Ranger all along.
I left my wife.
These are all so these are not brand new scopes then, is what you're saying.
No,
Dave,
they're
or
brand
these-
new.
I don't know, man.
They're brand new for this,
Going
but yeah, they're
Hasbro is
definitely
to use a
reused.
piece of plastic over the reused body. I can't imagine them to put this on a Kang body. That would also mean that they're doing new bodies. Haven't all the Ranger bodies been the exact same body this whole
Oh,
time?
no. I wasn't saying that I was saying that the articulation scheme may be similar to Kang with that whole upper torso moving on.
Right. But then that would mean that it's not the Ranger body; it's a different buck, right?
Got you.
And
Okay, got you. Okay.
I don't think I don't think this line is really gonna do that. Like they're gonna go with this, the putties are the same buck. I think the birds, I forget what they're called now. The purple birds, they're a different buck, obviously, and maybe we're getting some other things like with Zed and Rita, Goldar, but overall, it's all the same bucks, man. So I can't
to
imagine
pay for all that new stuff. It's just the same Ranger buck over and over.
Right, like it's probably the same Ranger buck with like a piece of plastic over it, and that sash probably holds the plastic. I wouldn't put it past Hasbro. But maybe it is different. Maybe it is the Kang. I'd like it to be the Kang torso, to be honest, just to have something different. Even though it's a little more limited than the regular Power Ranger buck, I think that would be at least something different for the line. Give you different choices in posing, like a different look.
Yeah. Well,
All right, so that is it for the Hasbros, man.
Yeah.
Hello, baby. Oh wait, no, I sent a picture in the chat.
Oh,
shout out to Hasbro. Shout out to Hasbro for unintentionally making the best Catwoman figure without even trying.
Well, this is an update because the real big thing here is that they finally are showing the gun.
There it is. Oh, the embargo's up. There we go.
Yeah. So we've seen this figure before. This is one of the first ones shown when it was rumored that they were getting the license.
Mm-hmm.
And then the big thing was like, oh my god, where's the guns? Hasbro can't do guns with the figures. Okay, they're coming with guns. We good?
Can you imagine a Fortnite figure not coming with guns? That'd be...
Yeah, come on, man.
Wow.
They showed off this, and then the Shadow Cat, and like that comes with like that weight that like dumbbell. That went in for pre-order on Amazon, and it was gone within like 6 hours.
Shadow Meowscles?
Yeah, Shadow Meowscles.
Damn.
Oh yeah, it'd be cool. I'm excited for that figure because I want to see like the direct comparison between their Meowscles and the Jazzwares Meowscles. I think that'd be cool to take a look at.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
shit.
I'm just glad to see Hasbro giving females double jointed elbows, man.
Sure, thank Paul, our last
And
guest.
any praise goes to Paul, baby.
That's it. Real quick correction. Cap Lives points out. Also, not every Ranger uses the same body. For example, SPD and MMPR use different bodies. Yeah, they definitely have some sculpt differences between like for different body types and whatnot. There's definitely been some some updates and whatnot between like the seasons and stuff. Even though they look very, very similar, they've definitely had some
Slimmer,
differences.
maybe?
Slimmer,
Slimmer, or actual different articulation.
Different range of articulation. I know some of these seasons move a little bit better than other seasons. But you know, the name of the game is to, you know, make these bucks stretch as much as possible. So
they do it, baby. They do it every time.
Absolutely.
I mean, but and the new Spider-Man buck is kind of like one of the Power Ranger bucks, right? I mean, has the torso and the
the
crunch.
scheme of the articulation.
Yeah, in terms of the
pretty much
scheme,
the
yeah.
same, right? Pretty much the same. But I think the quality of the plastic is different too. Like when you're posing one of the Power Rangers, you feel like it's a little bit looser versus a Marvel Legend. Not for nothing. Like a Marvel Legend always feels a lot tighter. Even as Star Wars figures, when you first open them, you know they're all Hasbro, but they all use different like stuff, man. It's definitely like different branches, you know.
You can see that.
Hell yeah.
All right, should we get into our next little bit of topic here?
That's it, baby. It's looking to the skies time. Mezco.
Oh my god.
Let's
Mezco
go.
time. Oh my god. All right, well, nothing crazy. Not a lot going on. A couple quick hits, really.
Oh, brother.
We'll start with when did this come out? This was on Monday.
Went
I
to
think.
waitlist?
How far can you stretch this segment? Let's go.
All right. Well, this week from Mezco, we got a new pre-order. We already knew that MezcoCon was around the corner because New York Comic Con was around the corner, but we'll get to that in a sec. We have been in a little bit of like a quiet period when it comes to Mezco, just because again they've been gearing up for the con. A lot of stuff has been kind of delayed. Some of it's still kind of on track to come out, but that doesn't stop them from sneaking in just another pre-order here real quick. And exclusive this week for I think it was like about a 24-hour open pre-order window. Spider-Man 2099, looking like a basketball. Look at that texture.
Real Spalding
I don't know, bro.
Definitely.
I saw a lot of pajama comments.
The 2099 joke. We're gonna get it in 2099. Yeah,
that's right.
It's too ridiculous. Yeah,
really good. I mean, you know, largely exactly as we saw it in the first teaser images. But I think the main thing I took away from those teaser images was like, oh, these are real in-hand photos. Like this is probably like pretty close to at least, you know, if not coming out, then at least coming out for pre-order. But I think we first saw this in February, and now we're getting the actual pre-order for it, and it's actually not too far away. It's December to February 2022, so it's not like a full, you know.
Well, I mean, they're never married.
Ahead sort of pre-order. They've kind of got this one a little bit ready.
They're never married to those dates on there.
Yeah, it'll probably be a little delayed from that for sure, but as far as the window that they're giving us from the pre-order, some of the pre-orders have been, you know, 6 months ago and for this window. So it just kind of seems like they've got this one a little bit more ready to go in general. One of the surprising things for me is that they gave it an unmasked head sculpt. This is the first Mezco Spider-Man non-MCU to come with a unmasked head sculpt.
Wow.
So hopefully, if we're on this 2.0 kick with Wolverine, with Superman, they can come back and hit some of these Marvel characters. Maybe we get a Spider-Man 2.0 with a Peter Parker head sculpt. Maybe we get a Miles 2.0 with a Miles head sculpt. Maybe Gwen Stacy, when Ghost Spider or Spider-Gwen, whatever you want to call her, comes out for pre-order, she'll also have an unmasked head sculpt. So
dang, how big is that head going to be, huh?
Massive. Absolutely massive.
Dang, so big head?
Yeah, so big head.
So no head.
So unmasked head though for this one, which is cool. You get the communicator with the little effect on it, the projection effect. You get all kinds of new. Actually, no, these are all basically reused web stuff. We saw this with some of the, I think the deluxe MCU Spidey. So
hold on, even a large one is
big ass web.
Yeah, this one came with the Far From Home Spidey, and so did this one.
Yeah,
which is like it's one that just goes over other figures' faces. It's pretty nice.
It was right around the time Hasbro dropped theirs, and then they made this one, which is like a lot thicker. It looks,
right.
The
only downside to this one, big down for me, no retro packaging. Oh my god, that takes away a lot for me. It's just gonna come in that boring old Mezco box, that I have 100 of. But either way, yeah, this is up for waitlist now. It was Yeah, about a 24-hour like open pre-order as kind of is par for the course with like the licensed exclusives. They're usually not like an in-stock buy it now thing, at least lately, basically in the past year. They're more like open pre-order windows, like with Solomon Kane and a few others, Batman Gotham by Gaslight and shit like that. All right, so that was
I'm not in love with this at all. I don't know. I saw a lot of pajama comments about this
Yeah,
on Instagram, but also I find it kind of strange or kind of odd that they use the for the other like half mask head they have him like screaming. That's weird. And why?
Yeah, it's not that he's screaming. He actually has like venom fangs. So this is his like about to bite you with his venom fangs.
Look at my fangs.
I see.
Yeah. This is lunging in to bite with fangs face.
This is a
Listen,
fucking hot topic.
That's very dope. I thought that they
That's
actually added
actually-
the fang.
That's the "you're
Yeah.
tearing me apart" Lisa face.
Yeah.
When you just said that right now, I was looking close to see if I actually saw fangs, but
Look
okay.
closely.
Yeah, if you look closely.
Got it close.
It has like some real sharp teeth. It should. I thought that the teeth could have been more.
They're not
pronounced.
blade levels, but they're there.
Yeah, right.
Listen, man, if people gonna keep saying that Mezco is the like 6-inch Hot Toys, they're gonna have to step up these unmasked head sculpts, the detail and everything on it, man. This
Yeah,
is
they're very soft.
Even the
still.
unmasked head looks very like common to me. It doesn't like scream Miguel O'Hara to me. I mean, I
Right.
don't know.
They gotta
Yeah,
find out
for
whoever's
sure.
doing those third party like Hot Toys quality 112 head
Right.
sculpts and bring them on.
Yeah, that looks like Johnny
Yeah.
Everyman right there.
Which, there's some benefit to that. This Boog, this can be your plain clothes cop for your Gordon displays,
Right.
whatever.
Yep, for the low price of $100 book, this could be your cop head sculpt.
I
Yeah,
think the
well,
main-
I mean, to that point, it's basically like standard Mezco price now. So $90.
Yeah, definitely not a bad price. Like obviously before shipping and tax, under 100, not bad.
Yeah. After shipping taxes and everything, it was like 116. So yeah.
I see MAFEX doing this with a sculpted symbol though, and with that base body that they're using on the new Spider-Man making, and it's just gonna and I even see Marvel Legends. There's no way Marvel Legends ain't gonna put that on that new retro body anyway too. So it's
they're already re-releasing it exactly on the same body the first time, just
Right,
with
that
the
first one,
updated
but,
paint and packaging.
They're
yeah.
milking that first, and then I'm sure in a year or two we're gonna get it on the on that other buck, especially after the comments. That's the good thing about the Legends team is that they're always reading the comments. They know what people are feeling about all that stuff, so they know that they can make another whatever they make on each release. They know they're gonna make that again. Probably release it on a regular wave instead of the retro card first, and then we'll get a retro card down the line of that on that buck.
It's safe to say pretty much that any like hugely popular suit like this or any other version of Spider-Man that's really popular is going to get done by MAFEX at this point.
Especially because they've done the regular Spider-Man 2099 Legends, and it was the skinny like pizza Spidey body, and then they did the all new, all different 2099 on the white suit.
Right,
and that was the Sunfire body.
Beautiful. That figure's beautiful. That
figure's really nice, and it goes for I think it goes for like $100 now.
But either way, this one makes perfect sense because they've already done Batman however many times, and then Batman Beyond. So this.
That's a lot. I thought that was a cool thing too. You could be able to. That's probably where this one will go, like right next to Batman Beyond in my shelf. I mean, I buy almost everything Spider-Man, so it doesn't matter what brand it is. But if this one right next to that Batman Beyond that they made would look pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And then last little bit of news from Mezco. Mezco Con Fall Edition coming very soon. On the 23rd, they put out this graphic saying it's coming soon. I went as far as to speculate. Usually when they have these like con announcements, it's like the announcement is this day, and then the week after that day, exactly 1 week, is the itinerary. Cool. And the itinerary is usually when we found out the dates, but just one day later, they were just like, nah, here are the dates. So October 1st through the 3rd, basically next week, end of next week. For a Mezco Con, you can expect about the usual. They'll drop the itinerary, and then that'll let you know that There's like a preview night where they drop the exclusive, and then there's like the 3 days of reveals and teasers and activities and games and puzzles and whatever that you can participate in for giveaways and contest prizes and stuff like that. So prepare your wallets.
Is the
Prepare your
preview
wallet.
night? Is the preview night on the 1st, or is it on the
I think
day
it'll be the
before?
first. Yeah.
Okay, on the 1st.
No, well, I don't know. That's iffy. It could be the 30th. Who knows? Or the
Oh my god.
TBD. I think we gotta wait for the itinerary to find out, and I think that'll probably come out Monday at the latest. So if you're a Mez collector, get your wallets ready. It's gonna be an expensive weekend coming up. Either mentally from all the stuff that you have to like fit into your next year of pre-orders, or because we got more secret drops coming. You can at least guarantee there's going to be one exclusive bundle. I mean, no question.
Easily.
Did you tell me?
What are you?
Did you tell me that Mezco wasn't going to be at New York Comic Con at all?
I don't know if I told you directly, but I talked about it on my stream. They're not going to be there this year. This is their own con outside of New York Comic Con, but it's on the same weekend, I believe, maybe the week before.
God.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, New York Comic Con is Mezco's home con, so for them to not be there, it's kind of a big deal.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
What if
It's less
a lot of
overhead,
people are
dude, you know?
Know what that tells me? They're saving money, man.
They're trying, for sure.
Easily.
They're squirreling away. They're holding in all their nuts like squirrels for the winter.
Flavio, what do you thinking this exclusive is going to be, man?
It's another Gomez for sure, but...
And do you think that they're going to have... You know how they did the Krieg 13, the Black Spartan, where they did that bundle package, and then they released it again for $90, and whoever bought it for $200, too bad.
I think that's honestly because that bundle probably didn't sell as well, so they just decided to recoup by selling the Krieg.
Right. I did hear about that. They probably just threw it back out there because it didn't
same with
sell
the
as well.
COG, and then they ended up, doing another run of them, 2 other runs of them actually, but more expensive each time. I think it'll depend on what the exclusive is. I think a Mezco con, I think they might have learned their lesson with Krieg. Like if it's a Gomez for one of these con bundles, it's always going to sell out.
Oh yeah, no question.
So I think they need to. I think from now on it'll be, you can guarantee a Gomez at every one of these events. Some exclusive Gomez, whether bundled or not, you can expect that for sure. Outside of that, secret drop here and there. Who knows if they drop? If it is an exclusive Gomez, I would imagine if on Monday we get the itinerary, we'll probably also get the first trailer for whatever the next exclusive bundle Gomez is going to be. Tuesday we'll get the reviews. Wednesday we'll get the drop. Thursday is the actual con, and then it'll go from there. Let me check. 1st through the 3rd next year is Wednesday through Friday. Okay, so Wednesday will definitely have the drop. So Wednesday is preview night. Thursday, Friday, the 2nd and 3rd will be the actual con days. So
they usually do their drops on Wednesdays too.
Exactly. So if it's a Wednesday and it's technically the first day of the con, means it's the preview night, and that means Monday morning or Wednesday morning for me will be the exclusive drop. So again, I'm pretty sure on Monday we'll get the trailer for that.
With it being a pigeon there, I can almost guarantee it'll be a Gomez because of that pigeon. But I would love for them to release one of those, how the Vapor figures, one of those, one of the other guys from that line, or maybe even I remember they have like a snake, like a rat that looks kind of like part of this Rumble Society line. I would love for it to be one of those instead, man. And I think that they would still, but like you said, they probably learned their lesson, and it probably is going to be a Gomez. Yeah, they don't want to make sure they sell out,
Yeah, and that type of stuff is definitely like the Rumble Society new character premiere is definitely best saved for a slugfest non-con bundle or non-con release.
Like how they just did with
fans can get attached to. The con stuff has to be like widely accessible. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you're right. If they're showing the pigeon. If we think back 1 year, MezcoCon Fall last year was where we got Hazard Squad Gomez. So if it depends if they're continuing, their program, if going off of the fall edition, for example, and we're going to get more stuff to go with the casino box, more into the Casino La Cucaracha theme, or are we pivoting to like the next incarnation of Gomez, you know,
Right.
which could be anything. It could be I mean, I'd like to see some more Hood stuff for sure, but yeah, I think they'll save a Gomez for this. But if it's like New York exclusive or in the fall, you know, it really is. The question is really, are they going to continue with an existing incarnation of Gomez, or are they making a new one? But we can have that discussion on Monday on my stream. Everybody go subscribe at Fobster on YouTube.
There you go.
All right, so that was it for Mezco, right?
That's it.
Cool.
Get ready to spend some money.
No.
You get ready to spend some money.
If it's a bundle, I'm not buying shit. I'm sick and tired of these bundles.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front me neither, man. Like a whole 200 to get like a Mezco bat and a patch to put on my jacket. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't want a 5-point. I don't want a lanyard. I don't no bundle.
And what's crazy about this too? Okay, another kind of point about it is we're about to next week have to pay for whatever is this next exclusive, and we still haven't gotten our bundle from the last one they did.
I mean, that's the big thing with them lately at all. I mean, even with their own line, they're taking forever to drop. That Mosquatch finally dropped after what? How long?
Yeah, like, we got the shipping notification this
I'm taking all this money. I keep taking the money. I don't give us the product though.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a industry-wide sort of delay thing going on, but
absolutely.
There's no question that it mentally it's hard to reconcile. Like, oh, I'm about to pay for the next thing, and I haven't even gotten the last thing. Like, what the fuck is wrong with
Right.
Well, to be fair, it's like you said, it's industry wide. Hasbro just hit us with the okey doke with the same shit too. So.
Yeah. And the Razor Crest is delayed, right?
And that got delayed. But I was talking about as far as the Sentinel and Galactus went. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It was perfect timing for them. I feel, man. It was really perfect timing.
Razor Crest got the crazy delay. They're not until February next year. Jesus.
I wonder what that was about.
If they would have gotten these knees, like the whole knee issue with the Sentinel, I can imagine that would have hurt the sales a little bit, man.
I saw you. I saw you got yours. Obviously, it's right there. But I also saw that you didn't. You said you didn't have any issues with your knees yet, right?
No, man. It's been standing this whole time. I had it in the living. My figure room. I leave the air conditioner on the whole time. But I had it in the living room for quite a while. On top of the actual.
Check that out. That was privilege right there. That was Diego hitting us.
That's more privilege for my figures, which is pretty damn sad in a way. They get more air conditioning than me, bro. But but I had it on top of the actual Sentinel box the whole time, man, and it's still been, I mean, I haven't been like actually posing it like some of these guys been putting it on its knees and all that. I'm not gonna do that. Like I have an idea for it, to do something like a master mold with the other little Sentinels, something like that. Play with the perspective a little bit, and then maybe I'll do something like this with the Wolverine slicing the head or something. And I'm not gonna go crazy with this thing, man. I'm gonna, I'm not putting it up top. That's for sure. Like that thing topples over, everything's coming down. Forget about it. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, I haven't had too many issues. I mean, it's gonna be one of those things where some people are gonna have worse. If you got it, if you're shipping to Arizona, I would imagine the heat affects something too. Like I'm up here in the east where it wasn't too hot, where it got, it already wasn't hot when it got shipped. So I don't know. I think it could be anything that could really affect the knees. Some people are getting good knees. Most people are getting bad knees. So I can't. I've been lucky enough to have this one where it's good.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you do agree that it was probably some type of oversight on Hasbro's part for not putting ratcheted joints on the knees, though, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's just even when I did play with it a little bit, I said, they know better than this, man. They did something there where, I don't know, they cut a little cost there, and it's just a shame because
they let their arrogance get ahead of them. They were like the designers of the Titanic. It's unsinkable.
Right. It's at this level of the game, they've perfected the game so much, especially since the Toy Biz era. this was a crazy oversight, man. I would rather them not give the fingers that, you know. I don't know, like it's you almost rather the elbow, anything, because again, that's the thing that's gonna hold it up. I mean, there's no question that in 5 to 10 years, forget it. It's not standing. There's no way.
Ain't that a bitch?
That
All
it
right.
hurts.
Yeah,
They'll fix it for me.
Yeah, well, we'll get into some more Marvel stuff just on the MAFEX side now.
This thing is insane. I
Cool.
just, you already know. I can't.
Let's go.
I can't even believe they're giving us this. The blue feet on the bottom. My God,
Yeah,
so good.
the blue on the bottom was like
The shading, even on like his
unnecessary,
calf,
but so dope that they
on
did
his
it.
head, on his calf, everything. Like this is a symbiote. It's phenomenal. They nailed it.
Yeah.
Break his heart, Bug.
Oh,
They nailed it, I think. And that symbol sculpted too. That's a sculpted symbol.
I love the stubble on the Peter Parker head. I love the symbiote rising up on the neck right there. I love the blue highlights. I love the blue bottom of the feet. No question, the articulation is great and all of that, but I'm not really in love with the sculpt, and I fell more out of love with the Spider-Man sculpt, the MAFEX Spider-Man sculpt. Even going back to the classic Spider-Man that they put out, there's no question that that's arguably one of the best 6-inch Spider-Mans ever produced. No question about it. But going back to it and really looking at it under a microscope, the line work is a little choppy. The sculpting is a little choppy. People's figures are still breaking. The wrist pegs are still breaking and shit. MAFEX has got a lot of like QC shit to work through to be like pretending to be premium and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like it is premium.
They've had that issue for a while, the QC issues too. Especially going back to the movie Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield one. That was a terrible figure,
Oh,
man.
that shit was fucking awful, bro. And that was I've been collecting MAFEX since the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen them come a long way. Don't get me wrong, but just looking at this body, like I like that it's a more slender version and representing Peter, but I don't know. I'm not really in love with this sculpt though, man. It looks too slender to me.
You wanted it to be beefier, like you wanted him to be more like stocky.
Just a little bit, not crazy.
Yeah.
Just represent.
I hear you on that, because, especially because of those like prior to McFarlane. I think that they're trying to nail that McFarlane look. That's really what it is, because prior to the McFarlane look is that I forget the artist, but right before McFarlane came in on issue 298, they had the artist who was making him a little bit more stocky, but that still goes back to the same snapshot Spider-Man look, like it's stockier. So I do agree that this is a very slender, but I think that they're really looking to nail that McFarlane look, and that's when you look at the McFarlane stuff, he was pretty slender.
Yeah, I agree. Bug, you're wildin', man.
Yeah, I'm always wildin'.
No, but I do also. I never did like the pelvis on, like that whole.
Yeah, that should
like,
look nice.
I feel like when you put him in a web swinging pose, he always looks like his butt's like hanging. It looks a little bit like a diaper butt a little bit on this.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me tell you
I
something.
don't like doing that. I prefer if you're gonna pose like that. I think the Revo is still the best to pose in terms of like a wild pose.
There we go. There we go.
A crouching pose, like when you do the crouching pose with the Revo, you could get both arms down perfectly. I mean, it's just it's definitely a better pose, and he looks a little stockier. Whereas the MAFEX, you gotta really like affect the pose, or else he can look a little wonky. Like he can look a little like I said, like the pelvis, that whole. I think that's they've always struggled in that area where like the thing drops down, the leg drops down, and right there, you see that? Like I don't like the way that leg looks right there, and then the joint.
But you know what? You gotta attribute some of that to the poser.
Right. No question, no question. But a lot of people do pose it this way. Like when you see,
sounds like a problem for a lot of people.
Yeah,
I see a lot of people just
I'm just gonna put some
like
dirt
it
in
looks
your
like a lazy ass Spider-Man pose. Like they just like throw the leg up in some like twisted way, and you're just like, bro, like I mean, he exaggerates, but not like that. Like you, I don't know, it's weird. Like
Listen,
this right
man.
here looks weird.
Don't get it fucked up. I pre-ordered this, of course. Like, you know, I'm gonna own it. But I just don't I don't love it. I don't like. I don't know. I'm not like I'm not as in love with the original version as I was when it first came out. Looking at some of the issues and shit like that, and I don't feel comfortable with it in terms of like posing and like, you know, going to it and
Right.
taking it out the
For the
package.
price, especially.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, if I'm gonna
Yeah.
pay $100,
Yeah.
there should be no question. Like, you know what I'm saying? There should be no doubt in my mind. There should be no
Yeah.
problems. It should be 100. You know, it should be the
And,
quality.
and truthfully, when you bend his knees, when you see like the knee right there and the elbows, that disc joint does like you see how it exposes when you really pose
Yeah.
it. Like so, as much as you know, you can't really hide it. Like I'm not gonna Photoshop a joint out like some of these guys, but you know, like you try your best to hide the joints or to make the joints look as natural as possible, right? And you know, with these MAFEX, I gotta admit that sometimes the joint, like it bothers me a little bit when I'm doing some of these crouching poses. Whereas you would expect like a Marvel, the only thing that bothers me with the Marvel Legend is that they don't got the damn toe pivot, man, the toe joint. If they had the toe joint. I honestly, you wouldn't have to buy another Marvel, like another Spider-Man figure. You could get, especially with all the guys doing the prints with the head sculpts and all that. You could buy yourself a McFarlane head sculpt and just put it on a Marvel Legend body and call it a day, bro. And you spent $40 versus spending 150 or whatever, you know, like it's all together. So I'll agree with that, especially with the $20 Legend coming out of this version here. Like it's just. It's a hard sell, but a lot of people are gonna get both, like no question.
This right here, I love it. You know, you there's no reason why. This is why I won't buy a Mezco Spider-Man because of this right here. You know what I'm saying? Like
this destroys the Mezco
for the Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like then there's no point in having.
Well, and that's the thing. Like forget this, dude. You can't put a Mezco Spider-Man in a. You know, in a regular, I don't know, what is that Jean-Claude Van Damme pose, like where he, you know, he does the Shawn Michaels pose where he does the thing with his legs and one leg is, you can't even like put the ankle. It's just, you know, you would have think by now they would have got this ankle thing resolved, dude. Like put a pivot on there or something. I don't know if that's like licensing or something that they're just not allowed to, but buying a Spider-Man Mezco is just. I only buy it.
It's 100%.
Yeah, it's just to look right. It's just to pose it vanilla, man. Like I can't. You can't put it in any kind of crouching. The movie Spider-Man stuff. I'll be honest. The material looks good enough to where I don't need to buy the Hot Toy stuff, honestly. But maybe
the
not
Far From Home Spider-Man is.
I'm not saying the head sculpt. The head sculpt is they could still it's a little soft still versus the Hot Toys be beautiful, but in terms of the actual costumes and all that, like I could do the movie Spider-Mans with the Mezcos, but I won't bother buying a comic Spider-Man for Mezco. Besides, this Spider-Man 2099 with the fangs is I'm gonna put him next to the Mezco Batman Beyond, and that's about it. But like I have really no faith in them coming out with something for me to pose, for me to actually like this MAFEX or the Legends. The Legends, I'm gonna be able to beat up on that Legends like that. I have no, and I think that's another thing that Boog was trying to like point out with the whole, with this MAFEX, as beautiful as it is, you kind of sometimes you'll put them in a pose and don't want to move them from that pose because you don't want to risk breaking any joints or anything like that. Whereas you take the Marvel Legends and you're just like you're gonna go to town on that one, Well, I think you could practice your posing on that one and then maybe go to your MAFEX and be careful,
I think that's a bigger conversation. A lot of people buy these $100 Japanese import collectibles thinking that they are a $20 Marvel Legend toy, and they go to town with these hand fucking type poses and shit.
Immediately comes to mind.
and then they complain that they treat this $100 collectible like a $20 toy. And like the biggest difference, like I mentioned in your post, Boog, is that this price point opens up one of the most important things to me, which is a different quality level of plastic. And when you're dealing with a type of plastics like ABS for imports and stuff, that comes with the caution of them being a little bit more brittle. And you know, I don't know, man.
The joints, yeah. The joints, yeah.
But I think if you handle these like they cost $100, I think you should be okay. And that's not to say that these don't have QC issues. Of course, they have QC issues.
But Poncho, they cost more. They should be more durable.
That's true, Fabio. That's true.
Well, I agree to an extent, especially with that Wolverine, man. Like the arms just fall. A lot of people. I had to. This one right here, matter of fact, the one that I got. It's just I got this one customized, and when I sent it to get customized, I told him, "Yo, find a way to glue that arm because I have no patience. Like I'm posing it, and the arm just keeps falling off.
Falling out.
That's like that V for Vendetta figure that Mo Yassin just recently posted a picture of. Dude, you open it, the minute you take it out the box, the head just falls out. Like it's what's going on here?
Who made that V figure?
Yeah, V.
No. Who made it?
Bullet Head.
Oh, I don't. It's a third party, man. I don't recall exactly.
Bullet
but
Head.
It was,
Oh, Bullet Head. He said.
Yeah, that figure looked dope, but then I had it in hand, and I just you can't. The head just keeps falling.
Yeah, I mean it's like that with I have one of these third-party Jokers too that I'm working on a review for, and it's the same kind of thing. Like the quality is there, but even though it's of a handleable quality, it's still a delicate piece no matter what, just by nature of it. And it was about Mezco price, not terribly over Mezco price, But
right.
It doesn't have.
That's a lot. That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
So you do expect, you expect it to hold up for sure. You don't want something fragile, but I think sometimes the stuff that makes it more aesthetic might make it more expensive without necessarily making it more durable.
Right. As a matter of fact, might even hinder the durability.
Right.
Sometimes
I was gonna say I cannot think of an expensive collector level toy line where it isn't. It isn't something that you can
Toys
handle.
is
Like
the
a
best
Marvel
example of that, man.
Hot Toys, these MAFEX, Mezco, anything that comes at a higher price. It's hard to be as durable something that's $20 and made from like a much more softer plastic like that.
Malleable plastic.
Yeah, I don't think
malleable,
the plastic is more expensive because it's more durable. It's the opposite.
Yeah, I think once you get into the threshold, I feel like the only exception to that is like once you get into the threshold of like die cast, then like a material like that is so high end and so durable that the price does justify how durable.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
figure arts
absolutely.
Iron
Like the
Man, they got
Chogokin
the
stuff and
metal
whatnot.
legs.
True, very true, dude. Yeah. Well,
Those
hell yeah.
Iron Man are amazing too.
Well, that's not it for MAFEX.
Uh-oh. Yeah, there's
Sir,
a bunch of shit.
surely you jest.
Yeah, they showed off this Joker.
There he is. Brandon Dykler, where are you at?
And this is some bullshit because
Oh, here we go.
Okay, please continue.
Elaborate.
Well, it's mostly just because it's just not enough packed in with them. I think they like really skimped out on the accessories here, man.
Yeah.
But the opportunity to have what's funny about this shit is that this is going to be the MAFEX quality that it is. So you may have some like QC issues and whatever, and you may need to be very cautious as you pose it and shit like that. But it's going to be light years ahead of the freaking DC collectible versions that we got. You know what I'm saying? In terms of
and it may even scale actually, because that was the DC collectibles was technically a 6-inch line.
Right. But I wonder if they only have the new animated version versus the original version, because I've never really been a fan of the art for the what is it, the new Adventures of Batman and Robin.
Yeah, new Batman Adventures.
And even Brandon, who you guys know, he's like the guru for this. He can't stand the animation for that either. Which my biggest thing, even the Joker, fine, you could kind of justify this face, but like Catwoman having like a blue face, it never really like resonated well. I always thought the original artwork was much better. So it's like you notice that this is going to accompany the Black Symbol version that they're dropping as well, which I got that one on pre-order. But when I think about it, it's like I'd much rather the yellow symbol version with, the Mark Hamill. And Mark Hamill voiced this one too, but the original Joker face and all that with the
Batman
yellow teeth.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's pretty clear that they are doing this. They're doing like new adventure, like this new art style first, because they know that if they released the one everybody loves first, no one would buy this shit at all.
Oh yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, I'm about to cancel.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, if you do, then they won't come out with the other version. So you have
right.
to go
It won't be enough. It won't be enough people
Damned if
buying
you
it.
do
Right.
and you're
Right.
damned
It
if
all
you
hinges
don't.
on you, Diego.
Absolutely. 'Cause, they will not hesitate to say, well, we had plans to release the one from the old show, but we didn't really see a lot of interest in these sculpts at all. So whatever. I guess in the vault it goes, I guess.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's still a good piece to own if you into the show at all. And again, like you guys said, it might be a good way to just continue to support the line until the shit that you really want, comes out and shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, it doesn't look bad. I just don't think it was enough packed in here for
$80.
For $80, yeah.
87 in Japan, 105 in the US.
Hyena dog. How he got, but I guess they would do that with Harley if they ever dropped her. They would pack the hyena dogs in there.
Yeah.
Just like articulated hyena dogs. That'd be some shit.
So he is on BBTS for 105.
Ew.
This is more than Spider-Man 2099. Just saying.
Price tag is terrible.
Yeah, I guess that does it for MAFEX. I guess we can roll right into to miscellaneous. Keeping it with imports. You want to take a look at that Revo Mickey that they showed off real quick?
Young Nicholas.
Young Nicholas. I don't know if it's going to be on. Probably not. They'll probably have to.
Yeah, no, I don't imagine.
Have to send me a link then, bud.
It's in the chat. I sent it last night, I think.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
While he's looking that up, Pancho, I want to get your. I wanted to know. Where did you order your Imagination Works Vegeta?
Oh, Ami.
Oh man, so you're getting it in any day now, huh?
Am I? They delayed it.
Poncho gets it in every day.
It released on time.
No, it didn't. You're lying.
Yeah, people in China already have it, and on my Ami it says it's in stock.
The fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's just that I have a large order. I have a large order, so I have to wait for everything else to get in stock. And I was like, damn, I wonder if Pancho got it on Ami because then he would get it like any day. I thought.
Damn, a lot of people are pretty pressed about that one.
Yeah, and then it looked at TN is out in China right now too.
TN is out. I don't like the face. I don't like the sculpt of TN's head. It's like very like angular, but like it's almost like it's just too round, But like it's like it doesn't have enough like depth detail. It's really hard to explain. Like the front of his face is very flat. Like it's almost like his eyebrows aren't sculpted in or anything like that. It's really weird. Like his brow isn't. So it just looks like really flat. I saw a lot of people complaining about 17 and 18 kind of having like a flat face type deal, but it's like really present on this. Anyway, onto this Mickey. Looks fucking awesome, and it's gonna be $600 once it sells out, just like that.
This is the 1930s Mickey. Damn.
1936, baby. They also have a black and white version.
This is so stupid, Rick.
No, Boog, what
the fuck? Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know if you see that picture, Fabio. I just sent it in the chat.
Man, they got on the cutout game.
Horrible.
You got they showed
what? Oh my god. This one.
Somebody got it in already.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The dumplings in place of Chaozi is really on shit right
Yeah,
there.
they went to lengths.
That's him. That's TN. That's
There he
Ten
is.
Shinahan.
Yeah.
Honestly, if it had just been this head, I wouldn't have even been able to tell the difference.
So no head.
Oh man! At some point, Paul said something like that when he was on here. And I just lost it.
It took everything in me not to hit the "son no head" button.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
I forget what it was, but I was like, "Damn it!"
Well, you could have, and he wouldn't have even noticed.
He wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tread a little lightly,
Right.
New guests in our house don't want to, take our shoes off quite yet.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny when you like try to do like a callback and shit, and it's a guest. They may not have seen every fucking episode or seen any episode.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it would have been kind of awkward if we would have just been like,
Son
you
of
know?
head.
Yeah, basically.
Yo, Boog, you don't like this Mickey? What's going on?
No, I do actually.
Oh, okay.
I actually do like this. I thought about it just in terms of like this might actually be some shit that will like be super duper expensive on the secondary down the line
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
It's a
Hell
real
yeah.
gamble with
Hell
Revoltech, like
This
and
is
their
a
Disney
Disney
properties.
collectible, man.
Right. Yeah.
Like
A total like articulated like Mickey right here, like, and not to mention that this would be very funny for a lot of like joke shots and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm considering. Wait, did this go up for pre-order already?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's up on AmiAmi right now.
Yeah, the
Right.
link's up. I think that's interesting that they did the pre-posed arms in like every angle. I think that's
Yeah.
really cool.
I mean, that's
I guess-
a good compromise for sure.
Yeah. Those arms would have been way too like spindly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, to for you to be bending them every fucking time.
I'm
No, this
sure.
really preserves the whole like tube frame sort of the animation.
Yeah, and I'm sure that the gloves would have hindered like being able to keep the arms up for a long period of time. And it's
Yeah.
crazy that he comes though those aren't just arms too. Those are bent legs as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not just the arms, also the legs.
Oh, okay, interesting.
It's kind of static.
Well, I mean, he still has the joints in the upper hip, and he still has the joints in the shoulders. So some of it is there, but yeah, they didn't want number one breaking, I'm sure, and they didn't want to stop that tube
Better than the
design.
McFarlane Kickstarter.
Oh my god, please
How
no.
much they want for this Mickey? $40
It's like
bucks?
Hell
$70
no. You
bucks.
know it's not $40.
What?
Yeah, about $70.
No.
Oh, 67.
They want $70 for this little shit?
On brand, Bug. Get with the
I mean,
program.
that was the same thing for the. I would imagine it's going to come in the same packaging as the Winnie the Pooh,
Whoa.
right?
Little shit,
Yeah.
you better bow to your overlord. He is controlling entertainment for you for the next 10 years.
Hey,
Wow.
not if the Ditko estate has anything to say about it.
I'm
Oh,
really
oh,
surprised.
shit.
I'm really surprised they want this much. I thought this would have been like one of the ones that they throw out for like $50 at best. Like, you know what I'm saying? I
What
don't,
year are you living in?
Yeah, guy, too.
This isn't Lightning McQueen, brother. This is
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse. This is the A-list, right?
yeah, no.
But yeah,
But I
man, I
imagine
would.
he's gonna come in probably the same packaging that the most of the Revos come in with, like the Winnie the Pooh and like the Zootopia figures. So he'll probably have a bunch of other things that aren't like that in that package. I can't imagine it's gonna be a smaller packaging if it's Revo.
Yeah, it
So
would come in the
probably
same.
that's-
I can imagine it same type of packaging as like Pooh and Tigger, Nick, like all those other guys.
Right. I forgot they released the Tigger too.
Hell yeah, favorite figures. That shit
Yeah,
doesn't pose
Tigger's
at all,
cool.
but I still love it.
All right. That's it for Revo, right?
I guess that's it, huh? What else we got?
We got a little something else in miscellaneous. We can talk some McFarlane, but first, can I get into a little bit of Super 7 action?
No.
Yeah.
Can I please show some Super 7?
What do you want to show from Super 7? We'll judge it right now.
Will you allow me to show some Super 7?
Please show me some Super 7.
You did it wrong, Poncho.
Sorry, can you show me some Super 7?
No, you did it wrong.
I
would like to. Poncho, let me show some Super 7, please.
Okay. No.
No, you're
Don't.
supposed to say no, bro. Come on.
No, don't. Don't show whatever bit this is. Please don't.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Poncho.
Oh God. Oh, there we go. Here we go. You
2001:
fucking
A
idiot.
Space Odyssey.
Oh shit.
I tried a little too hard for that one, and it wasn't even worth
Dumbass.
it. It wasn't even worth it.
You should have just said, "I'm gonna make a Space Odyssey reference."
Yeah, but you needed to be there.
You just had to be there. All right, tell us about this.
All right. Well, they're doing Ultimates. from Super 7. These are also for sculpts from Four Horsemen. But
Damn,
if you've
so
ever
this
seen
shit's gonna be
2001: A Space
$200
Odyssey,
to finish this fucking set.
yeah. Well, you don't have to. You get it all at once.
God, for the deep discount of $200.
That's right. So Super 7 hitting us with Stanley Kubrick's classic. You get all the main characters.
Got them all.
You get the cool, space suits. I mean, the space suits alone are pretty dope. But what's most interesting, I think, for me is you get the Moon Watcher, the little kind of ape creature from the beginning of the movie. And then
shout out to Brody. He actually sculpted this one. I'm pretty sure I saw him put this on.
I thought these are from Four Horsemen.
He did something on this. I feel like he put it on his Instagram. We should check it out.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we will. But either way, you get the Moon Watcher, and he comes with the monolith, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
So if there's if there's no interest in the spacesuits and all that, at the very least, the Moon Watcher is a good army builder, and then you end up with like a bunch of monoliths if you end up army building him.
Yeah, check out Brody_3D.
Maybe I will.
This one has been a very long time coming. Moonwatcher and a monolith sculpted with Four Horsemen Studios. He says with
there you go.
Horsemen Studios for Super 7. I still get phantom hand cramps thinking about working on all that fur. Oh wow. Okay.
Brody 3D with an IE.
Brody with an IE_3D. Yes.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
What's your name?
Yeah, here we go. Nice. Brody Perkins. Here we go. Moon Watcher. Yeah, so he sculpted this one, and I guess Four Horsemen did the other few.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Brody was actually one of the sculptors in attendance at the oh shit, that's what we forgot to ask Paul. I think Paul went to the unboxing toy convention too, right?
He sure did. He was there in 2018. Was that the year you went?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, maybe not. Yeah, maybe he was there before, because I feel like I would have definitely, saw him and talked to him if he was there as a guest.
I guess he did this guy from Super 7 as well. That's cool.
The cereal mascot. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brody was at the unboxing toy convention the year that me and Shardimus was there, and he was part of our whole little group that got to see the pyramids, and we hung out and all of that. Real cool dude. Got to hang out with him quite a bit. Went to the Mezco tasting with him.
Nice.
And, yeah.
All right, good shit. That's all. Just 2001: A Space Odyssey, Ultimate, Super 7. Get you some.
Yeah, collect the whole set.
Yeah, get that monolith.
Yeah, or buy a 2x4 and paint it black. God damn. I don't know.
Look at all these spacemen though.
Yeah,
they look cool. All right. I think the last miscellaneous thing I wanted to show is a little bit of McFarlane, just because God, we have such fun with McFarlane.
What's he got? What's going on?
I think we talked about the 3 Jokers line, right? Yeah. Those were the reveals, but the last thing to mention is that the pre-orders are now live. The only one missing is the
Wally World.
There's 3 Jokers, and only 2 of them are up for pre-order. So
sold out.
Yeah, we're all waiting to find out where that third one's coming, but these are all sold out on their respective places. Oh no, it's still up on BBTS. So yeah, if you want these Batman 3 Jokers, boom, pre-orders are live.
Sick.
Cool, that's it. See ya.
All right, bye. Yeah. See ya. I guess that. Oh, you want to talk NECA D&D? I guess.
Hey, we're back. Yeah, so we are gonna. We forgot about NECA D&D.
Mention it real quick, like.
Yeah. So NECA is doing Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, which was an action figure line in the 80s.
Hell yeah.
Just little, basically like 3 3/4 inch, 5 points of articulation figures, but now redone, remastered for the modern age.
Wow.
Look at that. It's the War Duke.
Dude, that is about to drop a Duke, baby.
About to drop a War Duke, brother.
Hell yeah.
And finally, the Grim Sword.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. This just makes me want to go back and play Diablo. Can we finish up here?
Yeah, for real.
Diablo 2 Resurrected is out, and all my friends are beating me to Act 5 right now.
Oh my
So.
god. Behind the curve, baby.
I'm extremely behind the curve. This paladin's not gonna level himself.
True. It's about to be the top of the hour. I would say since this week was such a guest heavy week, maybe we just do like one or two of highlights and what to grind on. What do you say?
Yeah. Well, we'd like to get some Diego input on the what to grinds on
Absolutely.
for sure. So maybe we can spend a little bit more time there.
That's it.
Diego,
So,
is there anyone specifically maybe this week in the community that you might want to highlight? You know, is there anything good you've seen this week that you think deserves some recognition?
I mentioned it earlier with Harold Ruiz that he he's a big name in the game, and he still he made this little mistake with his plexiglass, and then went back in and fixed it up and actually redid the shot. The shot looked a lot better when he redid it. But I'd like to highlight Stephen Court Smith, someone that doesn't get too much recognition. You showed some of these He-Man sculpts, and I thought of him too because they did the Arnold Schwarzenegger head so perfectly. I thought that he would love to get one of those and put it on. He did this arcade shot too that I thought was pretty. It's when you see any of the I love props, man. So like if I see a whole like place, this feels like you could go into that place. It doesn't even feel like they're toys. So I
know this dude actually from Reddit more than anything.
Okay, yeah, he's a really good dude, man. Really humble guy. He really likes his. He pretty much does this every day. Recently had a health condition with his pancreas, I believe, I'm sorry, the insulin. I'm pretty sure that's what I don't know at this point, man. With the pancreas is what delivers your insulin. I think it is, but he had an issue with that and just came back and just started like pumping this some of that art out. So he's a big football fan too. So he got the I gave him a Patriots jersey like this so that he could play around with. That's not it right there, but he does a lot of turtle stuff as well. Really good artist. Give him a follow. Also Casey Evans. A lot of these dudes doing these Sentinel photos. Alexius Lim. They're doing really good things. I'm looking at their shots like, damn, I got to get on this Sentinel grind real quick because
it's Warrior Evans right there.
Right. Casey. Warrior Evans and Alexius Lim. They're doing some crazy thing. But Casey got a nice Sentinel shot that he just did recently. Yeah, that Sentinel shot is really captivating. It really is capturing the size. He really sells the scale well there with the dioramas, and he's this guy is another Simon Hill. He's just a machine, man. I call him the machine because he's pumping stuff out every day, and it's pretty much it's so consistent that it's like you kind of start wondering, like, damn, bro, like, do you ever charge your batteries? Yeah. Some of the stuff he's doing with the he's very good with the atmospheric aerosol as well. How to make tangible, glowy lights, whereas a lot of people are doing the photo stacking instead to be able to achieve that glow look. And a lot of people don't give him enough credit for some of that stuff that he does. So he's been somebody that I've been really keeping my eye on. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? To talk about Casey, he came from a real a real place to begin with to be where he is right now and totally enabled and oh yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah, which goes to show that the A.C.B.A community is really the epitome of toy photography, man. It's everybody eventually comes home. I feel like it's even though it's like you can have a little bit of a rough patch, or even Simon had his little rough spell at first, and now we all come together, and which goes to show that we're a big community that wants to talk behind the scenes and get stuff settled so that we're not beefing or whatever the stupid stuff. It's like it's inspiring, man. It's inspiring.
Oh yeah. At the end of the day, we're just supposed to be having fun, man.
Right. Right. People take people take a lot of the things they see. I still see stuff about ACBA being, oh, they're just nitpicking your photos all the time. And it's far from that. It's always people that aren't even in the group or something like that that'll say something like that, because anybody that's in the group, especially now, can vouch and say that we've been nothing but a supportive community, and
It's all
it's been really,
hearsay, you just gotta come in and get in the game yourself.
right, and it's put take a dive, man. To like come in and post a photo, and if you feel like you want to improve a little bit, and you're not getting too much shine thanks to these wonderful algorithms that we got to go through, join the grind, and have a bunch of us look at your stuff and see your behind the scenes stuff and show you exactly what this guy, he's so good at replicating the stuff from the shows too, man. He's
Mhm.
so good. Yeah, and it's all tangible stuff. That's why it's even for me. It's much. I really enjoy watching some of the stuff he does because of the fact that I know it's all tangible, and I know that he's one of the guys striving to do shit the purest way.
Mm. Yeah, well said.
Yeah, and he's also been gaining a big following too. He's been like spinning, just
Mhm.
like cruising through. And I believe that's that consistency. Instagram sees when you're posting every single day,
Yep.
and people are reacting to your stuff. So his consistency is really inspiring. Him and Simon really inspire me a lot. And lastly, actually, I wanted to highlight Weapon X, Adam Smith, who's been a little bit, he's been on a hiatus kind of with all the schools coming in, and the whole COVID situation, but he's been getting some shots in lately as well, and he's been a really big help in the grind, posting up the weekly banner, which that's another thing. I don't know if people know, man, but
Hey,
we
hold
we
on.
really give a lot of people opportunities to take stuff like the banner, and that's like a big it's a big reward, man. Even in the ACBA group, everybody has a chance to win the banner. Any tangible display really has a chance to win the banner and get the honor of flexing to 13,000 followers, or members. This is I got the banner this week. A lot of people should be striving for stuff like that, and Adam is the one who takes care of the grinds banner weekly, so that we could get the votes up and all that stuff to show the recognition for all the artists that are putting in the work on a regular basis, so that even the people who aren't ready to put up their work can get some sort of inspiration, or look at what other artists are doing and get the idea of what ACBA is.
Yeah, I was just gonna say just a little context. Adam is a teacher, so that's why Diego
Yeah.
and he's been kind of like focused on
Mhm.
getting back to school.
Right.
That school started
Right.
back. So.
Right. I mean, this right here, the Tyrannosaurus, is amazing, man. He does such good work, and he's been a little busy, but shout out to him. Shout out to all the admins, and all even on ACBA, PMP, Dio Structure. Man, a lot of people don't know the stuff that we really do to make sure that the community runs the way it does, man. And I don't
I
think
hope
there's
they
a lot
never
of
find
groups
out.
like I don't think the group runs really smoothly, man. All of our groups really run a very smooth way, and it's shout out to all these guys to help us out to do it.
Listen, like I always say, ACBA, the ACBA community, which was originally the Marvel Legends community on YouTube, is a catalyst for every single thing that's going on in the world of
Yeah,
photography and displaying, and
no doubt. Look at all the cutouts that they're using now in these companies, man. All the companies are pulling cutouts out.
literally everything came out of this community. It was me and a select few others that don't even really do much toy photography these days, that was literally at the con badgering Hasbro and telling them, yo, you need to work with the toy photographers in the toy community more closely, and
Absolutely, absolutely.
literally laid the groundwork and fought and fussed with them to the point where they wouldn't even come back to New York Comic Con after the first.
G
And I'm
told me
so
all
glad
about
that
that.
them giving you the Doctor Strange reveal just kind of sets you straight. You guys are all even now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam is the Kit Bash kid, man. This guy, he always does something where he pops like certain joints out and puts something else in to give you a different look right here, for example. And man, it's really inspiring the some of the work he does, some of the kit bashes and all that, man. A lot of my kit bashing comes from like ideas from him and all that. So yeah, it's my boy right there. Good stuff.
Damn, good shit. I mean, those are all your community highlights. We gave it all to you. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely putting these artists over big.
Appreciate it. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, his stuff always takes me to. Sometimes when we going, especially somebody like Simon or Casey or whatever, somebody that's like constantly putting out content every day and going a mile a minute and shit like that. Sometimes we forget to just kind of like sit back and just like take this shit in and just like really just like,
yeah,
I don't know, smoke a L and just like look at people's shit and just be like, God damn, and like, really like,
yeah, man.
appreciate that.
You know what?
Like,
Times move so fast now too.
yeah,
Like it's hard. Everything is just scroll. But you're right. Like it's a lot, man. It's a lot of stuff to take in. This shot right here is really crazy. Like you don't really get to really appreciate much. You just hit the like and say, "Yup, that looks dope. Let me see what's next. Let me see what's next." But you're right. Like dissecting this, and these are Mattel figures. And he made this look really good. Made this look really good because. These sculpts aren't really the best. You could even see in his fingers, you got the separation of the finger there.
Yeah, look at that.
That's the that's the mark of a great artist when you could make pretty much any toy look good and shit.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're at the top of the hour. Do we want to get some plugs and get on out of here?
Yeah, we can. I think it's been a very productive show, and let's end on a high note, man.
We I don't think everybody's seen Visions, and some of us will never, so we can talk about that next time. But it's been a chill week, so we can definitely, like you said, end on a high note. So Diego, let everybody know. Obviously, we've been showing your Instagram the whole time, but let everybody know, once again, where we can find you, what you're working on, anything you got to plug. Hit us up.
Black Symbiote on Instagram, Black_Symbiote. Yeah, man, and check me out in the grind in the Facebook groups. I don't really have I don't have a Twitter or nothing like that, but yeah, I'm actually thinking about doing some of these. You know how they're doing the TikTok videos now. Maybe even doing a YouTube where and my YouTube is Black Symbiote as well. So everything Black Symbiote, you'll probably find me. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Fabio, what do you got going on?
Oh, the huge, just in solidarity with my fellow performers. So not providing any of the content for the next year until we get our, demands met.
Oh my
But other than
God.
that, you can keep up with me here on the socials, Instagram, Fobster360, YouTube, Fobster. Got some reviews I'm working on, some more videos, year-end recap. And as always, streaming every Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific, talking all the latest and greatest Mezco stuff. If the 10 minutes I'm allowed for Mezco on this podcast aren't enough to satiate you, then please come on over to my channel and let's spend an hour together on Mondays. What about you, Ponch? What you got?
I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I was I'm
about to sell some smoke, baby. Come on.
Oh shit, yeah, that's right.
I was about to say, what about the smoke?
That's right.
Yeah, come on, man.
I sell shit. I sell dynamic little dusties, baby. They're little smoke effects. Right now, so let me tell you, man, full transparency. Yeah, be prepared to wait, my friends. Because I said last week I'm splitting them up into batches, right? And then there's 5 per batch. I'm now up to batch 17. So
wow.
Yo, big shout out to everybody who placed an order. I cannot thank you enough. It's super cool to see
I actually
people.
got to place an order soon, so
Hell yeah.
about to do that. I'm about to do that soon.
And what's up with those of us who may want to just buy the file?
There's absolutely no way you're gonna buy the file. I'm not selling the file. I'm sorry.
I buy a license for the file.
No. I actually had a few people hit me up, and I very politely said, "Hey, I hope you understand, but I'm not selling the file digitally just because of like what happens to digital files of custom sculpts in the overall 3D community. They just get turned out, dog, like a fucking bottom bitch. It's the worst shit ever. So no, I'm good. I'm just gonna make them and sell them. I've been printing a couple now. I think I'm through the first batch, but I want to get like everything squared away. Unlike previous runs, I'm not taking any like payment until your batch is ready. So I'm just gonna keep on moseying on, and then pay whenever you and I are ready, and then we'll get it all squared away, baby. And yeah, man, I sell those.
The auras, man.
Oh yeah, the auras. I'm not selling auras anymore. Not right now. Maybe later. We'll see. I'm wrapping up this. I'm wrapping up a few stragglers. And then the slate is
Did you ever come out, because you were supposed to come out with like some new colors? Did you ever come out with those new colors? Because I actually didn't see any of those, and I was looking forward to that.
It was like kind of like a soft launch. Like when I did Wave 4, like if people requested, like if they
I remember something like that.
Yeah, if they wanted some of those new colors and new designs, I was like, much like everything I sell, I pretty much get bullied into selling shit. So people were just constantly in my DM saying like, "Hey, are you gonna release this? Are you gonna do this color?" I'm like, I mean, fuck, dude. If you're willing to pay me money, and if you're insane enough to want to buy something that I created, then of course the least I can do is take a custom request. Why not? So yeah, man. Eventually, hopefully, I want to do another wave of auras, but I just don't want to. I just don't want people to think that like I'm splitting my my focus between like two projects. I don't want people to feel left out or whatever. So
I don't think people will feel like that, man. It's just two separate projects. Period.
That is true. I'm constantly on the defense, baby, when it comes to this. so I don't know. I'm very like cautious, and like I just want everybody to know like that they're taken care of and whatnot. And speaking of getting taken care of, I've been taking care of this whole show by sitting in this Ewin chair. Baby, you can go to ewinchairs.com and you can use code Boog to get 20% off. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm at the very end of a cold. The review for this chair is coming out super soon. I didn't want to review it while I'm sick, have people thinking like, "Oh fuck, does this chair give you like COVID or shit?" No, absolutely not. Would never do that to Ewin chairs. They've been so nice to us. I would never dream of doing that. And then keep an eye out on my YouTube channel. I'll do a room tour, and then I'm gonna pack it all up, baby, and then that's it. So yeah, that's all I'm doing. Thank you for reminding me of all that weird shit I do. Thanks.
You do cool stuff, Pancho. We want people to know.
Thanks, man.
I don't really have much going on. Well, I'm gonna finish out the reviews of the AOA Colossus Build-A-Figure wave this week. So yeah, I'm 2 figures in. I also did just finally get the Falcon Build-A-Wings wave too. I don't think I'm gonna review those figures like that, but I did just open the Falcon. I want to get his wings together and just get him in my permanent display or whatever. But somebody asked me about the second part of the Hulk Orama video, which has been in my like editing software for months now or whatever. I just really just need to actually just edit it. So I think I'll get to that this week too. And I think that's pretty much all the stuff I got going on. Rick?
What kind of shirts you got hanging up in the back, Rick? What's going on? Damn, he's not even here.
Nah.
He fell asleep.
Rick's got the sickest anime button-ups you've ever seen from 2005. Let me tell you.
Are they silky?
Oh,
Are
hell
they
yeah,
silky
dude.
too?
Yo, let me
He's
tell
got
you.
with blue flames. It's
Absolutely. Yo, I'm sure everybody is familiar with a store in the mall that was run by two Middle Eastern dudes
Bruh.
that just sold the craziest shirts in 2005. Mine was called Just Casual, and then they expanded a year later and opened up a store right next door called Just Casual 2, and that's where I got all my
No.
tall tees in 2004. Yeah, they sold that
Wow.
shit too. It was great. Hell yeah, Boog. Take us out, brother.
All right. So I want to give a very special thank you to Paul Harding. Definitely go follow him and stay in tune with some of the teasers and things he may be dropping to let you know where some of his work will be popping up throughout the remainder of this year through next year. I thought that was really insightful. I would love to have him back on the show at some point. Obviously, a very special thank you to my man Diego as well for hanging out with us. Again, we want to keep bringing on, more community members. We honestly we want to bring on more admins and let them talk their shit and do their thing or whatever. Just kind of keeping things a little close to the vest and like, giving back to people on the home team and shit first and foremost. But we do also want to actually get more industry guests and stuff on too. So, we moving in that direction. We've been kind of warming up for the past year or so as far as just getting into our groove before we could actually start bringing people on. But we do want this to be a reoccurring theme. So, Diego, thank you, bro, for hanging out with us tonight. And
my pleasure, man. It was fun as hell.
no doubt. And thank you, everybody. Oh, thanks everybody for tuning in and for donating as well. And thank you guys for hanging out. As always, rate, comment, subscribe, hit that bell down there. And until next time, peace.
Peace.